We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
And we're brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com.
And the Spurs will dribble it out. The New York Knicks are NBA Cup champions.
And that was Iron Eagle, Amazon Prime, the final seconds. Knicks beat the Spurs 124-113. The MVP was Jalen Brunson, 25 points, 8 assists. OG Anunoby, 28 points, 9 rebounds. The bench, fantastic as well. Here was Brunson, just loves the way his team played.
I think it's good that we won this. I think it's good that we were able to... The way we won it, I think, is special as well.
And now the Knicks will be back at it on the road at Indiana tomorrow night. St. John's beat DePaul 79-66, 17 for Dylan Darling off the bench. UConn beat Butler 79-60. The Rangers shut out at home by the Canucks 3-0. Evander Kane's first period goal stood up as the deciding goal. The Red Wings edged the Islanders 3-2. Devils in Vegas tonight. This report brought to you by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. No one sells more Lexus vehicles in New Jersey than Ray Cattina Lexus. Get into the holiday spirit during the Lexus December to Remember sales event. Unwrap exceptional offers on all models, including the all-new GX and TX at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. Also brought to you by Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life. The holidays are around the corner, which means now is the time to get your gifts together. Luckily, our friends at Flag and Anthem make gift-giving easy. They've got tons of deals happening right now for every gift-giving budget. Head to flagandanthem.com and stock up for the holidays. Flag and Anthem, real clothes for real life. It's 38 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN. Now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Brendan Tierney.
Sports Radio 101.9 FM. WFAN.
All right, hey, we got one, New York. We got one. There we go. We got the cup. They got the cup. What's happened, everybody? I enjoyed last night. I don't know about you. I think I was so curious as to how they were going to act after they won the game. First of all, I wasn't sure if they were going to win the game, down by 10, and they were a little bit out of whack. That was fun, and, you know, to me, this is a perfect example. Really, this is a perfect example of how miserable society's become. And what I mean by that is, like, when this was first introduced, the concept, now, if you've heard me, even going back to the national stuff, I've been very critical of the commissioner, very. I think he's soft, and I think that he's allowed the players to take over and run the league. And, you know, with all due respect, I just think that Adam Silver is more of a number 2 than a number 1. Maybe a better way to say it, I never thought he could shine Stearns' shoes. I mean, it's not even close, right? But you got to give credit where it's due a little bit. And what I thought was initially a corny and a very contrived, you know, force-fed whatever, I've actually come to enjoy it. You know, I was going through the range of emotions here of how I felt about the cup. And again, the first one was, I'm not interested. This is ridiculous. This is corny. And then once I stopped being a little bit angry, I don't even know why I was angry over it. But once I stopped being a little bit angry and stopped resisting it, I then quickly pivoted to being apathetic. Oh, the NBA Cup, whatever. Who's playing? Are we in it? I mean, is this a regular season game? Is the court regular? Is the court purple? Is the court red? Is the court blue? What uniforms are we wearing? What the hell's like? Where are we at? Is this just a regular game against the Raptors, or does this actually mean something? So, but then in the semifinal, I got to admit, I started getting a little bit hooked. A little bit. And last night, I actually really enjoyed it to the point where I was obviously doing the St. John's game. Johnny's beat DePaul. I mean, you better beat DePaul. And they did. So first conference win for St. John's. And as the tip was at 7, so I think the Knicks started at 8:30. And as soon as I got in the car, and I checked on my phone at some point from Queens, and I'm like, you know what? I'm looking forward. Probably had about an hour or so drive back to New Jersey. And I put on the Knicks game, and as I always do when I'm in the car, because I'm a Knicks fan, And I'm into it. Like, there was definitely a ratcheting up of intensity. There was definitely a buy-in by the players. You could tell by their reactions. So it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. And why I say that this is a pretty good reminder of how miserable we've become as a society. Like, are we really going to rant and rave on this station all day about the merits of hanging a banner or not? I mean, is this how infantile and how dumb, really, we've become? I have no interest in debating that. Now, I will say this. I was a little misled. I think many of us were. I saw Evan's tweet at some point. I think I saw it last night. We were mostly in Dove. I think it was last night, right? You saw that tweet from Evan about the banner. We were mostly under the, I guess, illusion that if you won the cup, you had to put the banner up. It was an NBA mandate. And that's where I was like, all right, a little resistance here. We're going to put that up there with the big fella and Red Holtzman. Come on. And Willis Reed and Frazier and all these other stars. No, I am Monroe, DeBusschere, Bradley. We can't do this. Cartasecca, Fish, Billy Joel, the great Ranger names and banners. No. But is that really worth being angry over? I think I'm at a point now where if I like something, I'm in. If I don't like something, I'm not. Now, if something is truly offensive to me, I'm going to push back, and I'm going to push back strong. I'm going to let you know how I feel. But my advice to you is to understand that it's not a championship. It's more of a moment. It's more of a symbolism of a team that took it seriously and a team that's coming together a little bit, and I enjoyed it. It's fun watching Wemby. It's fun watching these games with a different sound from the, I mean, Ian's always great on the call, but that extra juice, that extra buzz, and the extra celebration. So, is it a little overboard at midcourt with the confetti and the hats and the hoodies, champions, whatever? But I enjoyed it. Congrats to the Knicks. And hopefully it is a foreshadow of things to come. 888-808-1019, BTR on the Fan. I got a little Bellinger thing for you later, which we will get into, and that is exclusively a Yankee and a Met thing. But let's get to the Knicks. Adam's down in South Jersey on the Fan. Adam, what's happening?
Brandon, good morning, my brother. It is fitting that, all those many, many years ago, the last call I made for years was to Mike and Dog before you came on the scene. And now here I am. What's going to be my last call to the Fan until I hear you again is to you. So I'm happy to talk to you today, my brother, and I'm happy to talk New York Knicks.
I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, let's go. Let's chop it up, Knicks. Champs.
Yeah, listen, man, to me what this is about is a couple of good things here for the Knicks, right? Number one, like you said, they're coming together as a team. They took it seriously, which meant to them it was a pressure situation. Tyler Kolek was dynamite last night. I just want to see more of this kid, Brandon, because this kid brings an energy. He runs the team well when Brunson's not on the floor, and even together at the end of the game with them playing with two ball handlers was dynamite. And I think that what this does for the Knicks is it shows them if you put it together, you can do this. San Antonio beat Oklahoma City. That's nobody's fault but Oklahoma City's, right?
Yeah.
So there's a chance, because San Antonio's good. San Antonio could be the other team at the end if you get through the Eastern Conference. While we all think, and it's all written in the book, that we think it's going to be Oklahoma City, that's not written in stone. It's hard to repeat. So the Knicks take this moment, and they celebrate a little bit, and I'm happy for them. And as a Knicks fan, I'm happy that they had a goal and they accomplished it.
Yeah.
That's important. You know what I mean?
I do.
That's important, man.
Listen, I've got a little feedback there, Adam. That's why I'm going to let you go. Thank you for making the call, and thank you for supporting us, being a fan of the show. Thank you very much. By the way, I am off tomorrow, but I am back on Friday, and that'll be the last full-time spot in the 10 to 2 spot before all the changes come. So, hey, listen, it's funny. One of the things that I've enjoyed most with you is talking Knicks. It was really good to get that spark back. They started to get better when I was with Tiki. They really started to get better when me and Sal were together. So, and this goes back to, the mid-2000s when I first got on New York radio, and they were atrocious. That was Isaiah, and that was Marbury, and Eddie Curry, and Jerome James, and Q Rich and Jamal and Nate Dogg and Balkman. My God. Some of those players that I mentioned were good, but it was an absolute circus disaster. And really what happened in a lot of ways is, it's the Knick talk obviously just goes away. kind of like the Jets and the Giants right now. Really, if you think about that, now football is obviously much more popular than basketball, but I mean, outside of playing the Unkillable rant, which I'll play on Friday, I'll bust that out. I'm going to play it in its entirety so you guys can hear that coming through the speakers. I've actually never heard the whole thing. I've never heard that speech. I've seen clips, obviously. People have sent me stuff. I have never heard the whole thing, so I'll play it on Friday before I bounce. But, you know, you think about the popularity of the NFL, I got nothing to say about the Jets and the Giants. What am I going to say? And really, all those years, the Knicks were as down as the Jets and the Giants currently are. So if there's really nothing, and trust me, we've had the conversations. Dable, Shane, fire this guy. What do you do? Sit Dart, protect him, play him, don't, Jets, whatever. Fired the DC. Do you move up to get Mendoza? Like, we've had the conversations, obviously. But there's an expiration on just getting on the air and saying, God, these guys suck. And that happened to the Knicks. And for a long time. And it was sad. Yeah, it's funny. Like, when I was first introduced to the Knicks by my dad, I remember watching the Knicks on Channel 9. And that was when, I would say this was about 80, definitely early 80s, because Bernard King was my first favorite Knick. And back then, the Knicks and the Rangers, the road games were on WOR Channel 9 TV. Same with wrestling, you know. And unless you had MSG, which I didn't get until probably 4 or 5 years later in the mid-'80s, you didn't really get to watch any Knick or Ranger home games. And the point is that when I first fell in love with the Knicks were, I mean, they were wretched. There's a reason why they got the first overall pick in Patrick back in 85. I mean, outside of Bernard King, I had a lot of Rory Sparrows and Darrell Walkers and Ken the Animal Bannisters and Trent Tuckers and Louis Orrs, and Louis, rest in peace. That was a rough team, man. That was a bad team to get behind. And then they popped, and then it was awesome, and then it was invisible basically for 15 years. So here we are. To me, I'm not going over the top, obviously. I'm not putting the banner next to the other ones, but I'm going to hang it somewhere. I mean, I think that they have earned that. And really, I got to tell you, just from a Knick evaluation point of view, I think anytime you can get more information on something, you have a better chance to make a smart, intelligent decision. And, you know, let's just say it was just a regular 82-game schedule, right? And last night was just, you know, a game against the Spurs or whomever else it might be. You know, there's not the intensity or the scrutiny or the focus or the pride that was demonstrated last night and in the Cup semifinals. And I say that, not to overstate it, but when you have heightened expectations and heightened visibility, to me, that's a better chance to get a read on your team. How do they respond to pressure? How do they look when there's, you know, some more eyeballs on you? And if I didn't like what I saw, and really I should say Leon Rose, if Leon Rose didn't or doesn't, and how could he not now, but if he didn't like what he saw, well, maybe that's impetus to change, maybe accelerate pursuing a big trade, Giannis, something else. Maybe. I'm not even sure if this is the right move because I still think the Knicks need to do one more thing to win the championship, the real one. But at least now you got to see the Knicks in a competitive environment, as competitive as it gets in the regular season. And they did awesome. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. All right, 888-808-1019, BT on the Fan. Ryan's in Comac. What's happening, Ryan? How you doing today?
Hey, BT, what's going on? Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
I just wanted to talk about the banner. Listen, does the NBA Cup matter in the grand scheme of things? It matters to the players. I think it's great for the fans. The intensity in the games were really high. The whole banner thing, I mean, we have Atlantic Division banner. What does it mean to win the Atlantic Division?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, we have President's Trophy to the Rangers. What does that mean? Oh, we came in first in the regular season. Wow, we got wiped out in the first round. Big deal. So for the banner thing, you know, I'm going to ship a replica banner to Joe Beningo's house so he can hang it on his front lawn.
Right. Put it right next to the 17 gnomes who are probably on Joe's lawn, right? I know he collects those gnomes.
Exactly. So it's something, right? It was a great game. The players weren't sitting down the whole game. Each bench standing up, cheering. I love to see that for the players. It brings a little playoff intensity, gives the players a little experience, like, hey, this game means something. I mean, $500,000 to Tyler Kolek is a lot of money, man.
Oh, yeah.
He played a great game. He played his butt off, and he earned that check. So good for the kid. He got a little money. Again, is it an NBA title? No. But is it cool? Yeah, it's cool. It's adapted from the soccer model, you know, the FA Cup for the English Premier League. You know, it's not winning the league, but it's something, right? It's another title. It wins your money. And it's good for the sport. So I think Sal kind of swayed your opinion on the NBA Cup when he kept saying that it's stupid, it's stupid, stupid.
No,
At the end of the day,
I didn't.
we're here to watch games.
Ryan, nobody swayed I just didn't like it. I mean, I thought it was just too forced, honestly. But I'm allowed to evolve. Sal had nothing to do with it. I mean, Sal didn't think Mike Brown was the right guy. I liked Mike Brown. So, I mean, opinions are what they are. Listen, I think that anything that becomes more ingrained in the younger generation eventually is going to carry more merit and more weight. And just it's going to be processed differently than us, maybe, who initially were like, and again, I'm not going over the top here, but I'm happy that they won, and it's cool that they won, and it's fun to go out a champion. Dove, I'm going out a champion, man. Watch, I'm going out a champion. The Johnnies will win the NCAA championship this year. The Knicks are already champions. Yankees and Mets better get going if they want to be champions. Jets and Giants have no hope at this point, but I am a champion. Nobody can take that. That is on my resume as he leaves FAN, champion. No, but think about this. When the designated hitter was first introduced, 1973, Ron Bloomberg, right? I can imagine the resistance there. People screaming from the top of the mountain, from the lawns. Oh, this is a disservice to the game. This is a disgrace. This is against history. What are we doing? And then look at us now. I mean, if you don't have a DH, pretty much like the Mets haven't had one for a long time, your offense is not where it needs to be. Same with when the wild cards were first introduced. Wild cards, what is this? You really don't have to accomplish much and you're a playoff team? Yeah. But now it's ingrained in our sporting minds. Much like, now my son fell asleep, but I recorded it for him. I want him to see, Brunson and Towns at the Knicks with the confetti holding a trophy. And I don't think he's going to expect a parade, but I would imagine as he gets older and, these other 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18, 22, 25-year-old NBA fans, et cetera, as it becomes more ingrained and more part of the DNA of the league, it's going to carry a little bit more juice, and they're going to add to it, and it's a good thing. Hey, we're talking about the NBA. I mean, think about that. I could have easily, if there's no NBA Cup, and the Knicks play the Raptors, the Heat, the Pacers, the Nets, anybody, and it's just a regular 1 out of 82 last night, I'm not starting the show with the Knicks unless, God forbid, somebody got hurt. It's back to, Bellinger, Yankees, Mets, hot stove, coming up with something interesting in the NFL because Lord knows you got to be creative with these doormat teams that we got. But because the Knicks played and even if they lost, I would have started the show with it. So that's about visibility, and that's a good thing. It empowers the younger fans, and it really empowers the league, I think. So I'm good with it. Now, after initially hating it. Bruce is in Wyckoff. Bruce on the Fan with BT. What's up, Bruce?
Go New York, go New York,
go!
Go New York, go New York, go! Success breeds success. That was the value of that game to me. But my question to you and the audience is, what's the rotation going to look like once Shamit, once McBride comes back? And the real question is, I don't think we win that game if this coach spread it out. Hopefully, Brunson win the game for us. That was a full team win.
Yeah.
You could see the difference. We do need some help on defense and blocking those threes.
Yeah.
We got to improve there, but offensively, we're not relying on Brunson to win the game. I want your opinion on
Bruce, it's a great point. Yeah, no, thank you very much, buddy. It talks about the evolution of this Knicks team. Now, Tom Thibodeau's a damn good coach, and we all have a tremendous amount of respect for Tom Thibodeau. But and I was on this early. The reason why I wanted the Knicks to move on from Tom Thibodeau last year was because to me, the growth, it was over. I didn't see any more growth as a coach. I saw somebody who was married to his ways, which, again, many of us are in many things, but you've got to evolve when the league evolves. And I could promise you last night that, if Tom Thibodeau's coaching this game, if they're to this point, and they might be because they have talent, I could promise you Clarkson's not hitting those big threes. I could promise you Kolic's not playing big minutes. It's not happening. They're not on the court. And it's going to be a lot of, you're right, 37. 30. Now, they did minutes-wise. Brown upped it during the cup here, which I like. A little more emphasis on winning. Good. If we're playing for something, win it. Do your best to win. Compete. And you saw that competitive gene click in for the coach and for the team, obviously. But I just don't think that the roster would have been utilized the way it's been utilized thus far. And, oh, yeah, by the way, who's top scoring team of the Eastern Conference? That would be the Knicks at over 121 points a game. Not bad. Now, that's not to coronate Mike Brown. That's not to say that he's a home run hire. He's a good coach, and I always knew he was good. I do think he seems to fit this roster. Early on, it was a little, feeling out, maybe even a little resistance. Brunson said this the other day. He's like, we had to buy in, and it starts with me. And I get it. We've all been through this. The radio that I was used to doing was very different than, what Spike, who brought me here, what he basically demanded we do. Like, he had a very different template. And at first, I was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't know. Kind of feel my way around it. And so was he, and I think so was Sal. I think so was some of the other people at the station. It was a different approach. And then, you're like, all right, I either do this or I'm out. I mean, I'm out anyway, so it just doesn't really matter. I did it. I should have done it my way. Screw you, What's the difference? You're out. Go down swinging. I did. The point is, when something different is introduced, it doesn't happen overnight. And say this about this Knicks team. They are bought in. They are professional. They are obviously deep. They are obviously talented. They are obviously limited in a few spots. A little defense. We know about those 2 spots with the point guard in the center. But the Knicks have a professionalism that you got to respect because you watch them and you feel it and it's obvious. So good job. We're talking Knicks. We'll do a little Yanks and Mets later. BT on the Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you always get the guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
For the end zone.
The Rams and Seahawks clash for first place in the NFC West. Home field advantage and the number 1 seed in the playoffs. 8:15 tomorrow night on AM 660.
Touchdown!
Thursday night football on the Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey apps.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
It's the season of giving at Nielsen Dodge. During this season of light and generosity, we're giving you our best deals on every car, truck, and SUV in stock.
That's right, Chels, and we're pulling out all the stops to bring you extra special holiday offers.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4, just $189 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $299 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
We'll also give you 0 down payment. We always give you the credit help you need.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Wrap up the year's sales event. With approval term 27 months due at signed Compass 5189, Cherokee 5894. At tax tag $498 dock and DMV fees.
Makita knows that pros never settle. And neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Febreze.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, this is Matt Clifton from Pine Belt Mazda to offer a holiday greeting straight from the heart. Let these times bring all of us closer together. From the entire Pine Belt Mazda family to yours, may this holiday season bring you joy, health, happiness, and peace.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Nada que ver. Bring in a bill from AT&T or T-Mobile to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. ¿Y ahora? ¿Qué vas a hacer with all those unwanted bills? Pues, how about a full-scale origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Fuera de broma. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Verizon store in New York City today and we'll give you a better deal for you and tu familia. Rankings based on RootMetrics root score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go
celebrate the championship here on The Fan. Why not? 1046 BT with you. 888-808-119 is the number. Get back to the calls here. You know, the other thing, too, and this is part of the, I guess, the residue of winning together. I mean, first of all, the way Jalen Brunson, this guy's the best, man. He is just, he's everything you want in a superstar. He's humble, but he's a killer. You know, he is all in, and he is just such a good teammate. When they're trying to talk about him as the MVP, now I don't get wrapped up in the MVP of the cup. Let's not go nuts here. But it's like the NBA Finals MVP. But when you get the microphone and they want to talk about you, and the first thing you do is deflect from you to 4 or 5 other guys on the team, you know how far that goes in the locker room and what that could mean on the court in terms of togetherness? It's a great thing. I mean, Towns is making $51 million. OG's making $40. OG was good. OG's making $45. Brunson's making $40. Bridge is making $38. You know, you got the Hot Porties and the Koliks and guys like that. I mean, they're making good money, you know, relative to the rest of the world, but they're making absolute peanuts compared to the rest of their peers in the NBA, at least the highly paid ones. So the fact that that was such a central theme and Brunson was able to articulate that, that's going to go a long way in fostering togetherness, which, you know, could obviously pay dividends down in June. And that's the hope, you know. Now, is this team really a championship team? I'm not going to let the cup dissuade me from thinking what I've kind of always thought. I don't think so. I think they're a tick short there, but could be wrong. I could be wrong. 888-808-1019 is the number. Let's go to Connecticut. What's going on, John? You're on The Fan. How are you?
Good, BT. Thanks for taking the call, man. You know, there's only positives that you can take out of this. You know, this is great for the team. It's great for the organization. Yeah, it's nothing special, but you're only going to be able to build on top of this. And when you look at how they celebrated, it was great. It was fun. It's only going to build on the camaraderie. And when you're talking about the games that are in front of you, win the games that are in front of you. That's the most important thing. I mean, think of the narrative of coming in today if the script was flipped where, you know, the Knicks were leading for 3 quarters and then gave it up in the 4th and, you know, what we'd be talking about and, oh, we got to make these moves and that moves. And it's like, yeah, that's still a little bit there, but it's like, you know, I like this team. I like where they're going. I like how they're molding together. I'll be honest, I wasn't crazy about Brown coming in, coaching this team, and he's done a great job so far.
Yeah.
Like, he's building on a lot, and I like what I see. And the only other thing, a little off topic with basketball, you know, they're going more towards like that soccer approach. Do you ever see the NBA and possibly the MLB going into like the loan system because of how deep a lot of these teams are with the G League and the minor league systems?
I don't know. I really, I hope not. And I'll tell you what, John, if that happens, by the time it does, I'll probably be checked out. At that point, I just won't care. I mean, we'll start loaning players. What I wouldn't mind seeing, if you're going to take something from soccer, how about a little relegation? You know, I think, and I'm saying that kind of flippantly, but not really. Relegation, though, if you know how that works at soccer, you probably know. I'll explain it to you. I mean, I don't even know that much about it because I don't watch soccer that much, except when my kids are, when my daughter's playing. But relegation is if you don't, on the table in terms of the standings, achieve whatever you have to achieve, you are basically sent packing. You are kicked out of that league, and you are relegated to a lesser one, less visible, less money, and then you got to work your way back. So the emphasis and the spotlight that you really can't avoid, you would think that it would serve as a great motivator to get your act together. So if you try to cut corners as an owner and you're cheap and you got a weak facility and you just can't attract good players, whatever it might be, then you are going to adversely feel the consequences downstream because you are going to be relegated. And when you are relegated, you lose a lot of money. And that's when owners generally start to respond when you lose money. So relegation would be great. I mean, I'll tell you what, let's relegate the Jets and the Giants and let them play Bosco and some of the other powerhouses here, right? Why not? Let's go for it. I think that DePaul Catholic, let's go. Let's relegate them to that league. Bergen, all the heavyweights, get a few more. I think Curtis is still good in the PSAL. Lincoln's pretty good. Put them with them and let them earn their way back to the NFL. But I don't mind that concept. Okay. So that we need a dissenting voice. I want to see what Glenn has to say here. Glenn is in Montague. It says the NBA Cup sucks on my screen. Glenn, what's cooking, buddy? How you doing today?
Hey, guys. Big fan of you guys. I love you guys. And listen, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, okay? But just hear me out here.
Okay.
You're getting rewarded for a winning streak. That's what it comes down to. I don't like the cup. I'm not a fan of the cup. If you want to give a cup out, why don't you give a cup out to the Detroit Pistons? What'd they do? How many wins did they rip off in a row?
I think it was 14.
Before this cup.
Yeah.
14. Did they get anything out of the deal?
Well,
no, but they're learning how... They're learning how to play as a team, and that's a great thing.
Yep.
The NBA is getting desperate here. They're getting desperate. They needed a makeover and a facelift, and this is what they came up with. I just don't like it. You're a world champion for a reason. That's what it comes down to. The very last game when you win the championship, then you could put that banner up in the rafters. Thank you, guys.
No, hold on. Don't hang up. Glenn.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
So are you a big Knick guy, or are you just kind of and either way, it's fine. Just parachuting in with an opinion.
I'm a big Boston Celtics fan guy. I'm 61 years old, going all the way back to the great John Havlicek and Dave Cowan.
Okay,
that's
so
my
boom.
voice.
You are stamped a champion and a real fan. Got it. But let's say the Celtics were playing the Nets last night. Would you flip it on for a sec just to keep an eye on your team? You would, right?
Sure, I would.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So why wouldn't you rather watch a game that is more played with more passion and more aggression than any other regular season game? Why wouldn't isn't that a better watch? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just meaningless, sir. I think it's meaningless because you're rewarding a team for a winning streak.
Yeah, all right. I mean, that's your opinion. I got you. I mean, I'm not going to try to change your mind. I mean, it's not that good where I'm going to change opinions. Let's not get nuts here. But Glenn said something. He said, that the NBA is getting desperate. Well, and I have been so critical of the NBA, starting with the commissioner. And I love basketball, but it's been a train wreck for a while. I don't think it's a desperation as much as it is a move to globalize the sport. Honestly, how is it really? Baseball's got the WBC, right? They do that. Obviously, hockey has their tournament. Soccer, we just discussed soccer, as global as it gets. So why wouldn't the team and the sport that really actually, aside from soccer, started the global pursuit with the Dream Team back in '92, why can't they get a piece of the pie and join the fun? Again, you don't need to love it. I get that. And for most of it, I'm like, this is cornball stuff. I'm not with it. But to, denounce it, denigrate it, Yeah, I don't feel compelled to do that. I'm okay with it. Robbie's in Lennox. What's up, Robbie? How you doing?
Hey, Brandon, first of all, I just want to say that I'm going to miss you guys. You know, I listen to you guys every day. You have a great show. I wanted to say Hasamea to Dove and happy holidays to you and your family. But I'm going to miss you guys. Seriously, I know you'll be back in different forms, but I've been calling the station for 38 years. Been a radio announcer up here in New England on an award-winning show, and I just want to tell you guys are awesome, and I appreciate it. And the other thing I want to talk about is our teams. I saw the last team in 1973 win the championship. And look, the Rangers had the French Maids Trophy in 1994 before they won the Stanley Cup. Maybe this is a good omen. I don't like it personally, but I've changed my mind a little bit about it because you know why? It brings the team together.
Yes.
And you know what? That's the whole point, and that's the point you were making. I like that. And I want to say something about my favorite New York team, the New York Rangers. They are an absolute disgrace.
Yikes.
Chris Drury needs to go. Okay, they're a disgrace. And you know why? It's not all Drury's fault. This team is the over-the-hill gang. You have a core of players that are in their 30s now, okay? They're slow. They're old. Sell like you can't sell anymore. I've had enough. To lose to the worst team in hockey last night.
And to get smoked and not even score.
And get smoked. I mean, they don't even score. You know why? I'm so sick and tired of watching these guys go east and west. I mean, here we go, east and west. I mean, I say it every time. Here we go. It's like watching east-west comedy. Here we go, east and west, east and west. Too many guys that are soft. Why can't they go out and get a guy like a Sam Bennett in Florida? Why is it every time I watch the Panthers, and right now the Panthers have their two best players are sitting and they're out, and yet they've won 4 in a row, and yet they're winning. Why? Because they play simplified hockey. And I feel so sorry for Eagle Eye, for Quickie. You know, Quickie hasn't won a game since November 7th.
Yikes.
And the guy's playing his ass off at 40 years old. Yeah. And Eagle breaks his stick the other night in the Ducks game. Oh, I'm so glad they're motivated to play the Ducks the other night in the third period, in which they acquired 5 shots. I mean, I feel sorry for Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan's a good coach, but you know what? Mike Sullivan doesn't have Sidney Crosby and Malkin, and he doesn't have Chris Letang, and he doesn't have Flower and goal. Okay, so Sullivan looks like a complete flip here. All right, it's Chris Drury, but it's also the past. Let me ask you something. When's the last time the Rangers drafted a great player?
I don't know, but this is already more hockey talk than I was planning for. You sound good. Keep going. They stink.
Thanks, pal.
They stink. They deserve this. I was going to make a little Rangers note. I'm watching Sports Night last night, and as I always do, and a lot of baseball, a little Knicks as well. And they were talking about the Rangers, and they came up on the screen. I'm like, is that possible? So I'm like, I'll do this. I'll take a screenshot on my phone, and then I'll obviously find a way to incorporate it into the show. Now, I don't know who the hell the Rangers should trade for. I'm not going to throw names at you. I don't know them. I'm not going to listen. If I didn't talk hockey, we did during the playoffs here and there a little bit, but if I didn't talk hockey regularly on the 3 years that I was or am on the Fan, you think I'm starting now with less than 2 shows to go full time? No. We're talking baseball and we're talking Knicks. But I will say the Rangers at home, though, they are 4-10-3. All right. Anybody know? And you just have to pick up a website or you know that they've struggled there. But the goals scored, I mean, they are getting their asses kicked. They have scored 30 times in those 17 games. 30. And they have given up 53. They are minus 23 goals scored at the Garden. What a joke. What a disaster. I mean, really, what a clown show the Rangers are. My God. Now, I don't even pretend to know enough about hockey to like how to fix this. I don't know. But I know enough to know that I don't see very many dynamic players. I mean, it's a lot of, you say East-West. They just don't have any horses that can dominate. Oh, my God. I know the last goal was an empty netter when they pulled it. And they put on. I believe the Rangers, I know the last goal was the empty netter. I believe the Rangers were on a power play. And they gave up the empty netter when they pulled the goalie. When they pulled quick. Pretty sure that was a power play. They are awful. I mean, really, they're certainly at home. They're in Jets and Giants territory. Now, it's the exact opposite on the road. So, who knows? But wow. Power play opportunities, 40? Ugh. 5 goals out of 40 opportunities? I mean, that is disgraceful. Don't start calling about hockey. I'm not taking hockey calls. I'm telling you, I'm not. All right, who's hot in football? Brought to you by Petra Home Services. Trevor Lawrence. Oh, more good New York sports news here. 330, 5 touchdowns in the air, and he ran for one. against, wait for it, you ready? Our Jets. Hey, you want to save on heating costs? Go with Petro. Switch now and get $125 free heating oil with reliable delivery in any weather and live 24/7 service. Count on your local HVAC pros at Petro. Stay warm and save. So, go to Petro.com now. Get $125 free heating oil or call 888-PETRO-02 today. That's 1-888-PETRO-02. Use propane. Ask about special offers. Propane not available in all areas.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
Giants have a stranglehold on number 1. The Jets moved up 2 spots in the draft to number 5 now. Maybe they are the worst team in the league. I don't know.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Phillip Rivers isn't the only 40-something NFL quarterback turned high school coach making news. Former Bengals, Raiders, and Cardinals quarterback Carson Palmer coached his alma mater, Santa Margarita Catholic High School, to a California state championship. I enjoy seeing a kid make a mistake, then understand the why and fix it, Palmer said. You don't get that in the NFL. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Data Bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Need your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Need your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This year's Farmer's Almanac warns of a harsh, super snowy winter. So take control of the wet, snowy, and icy conditions with a new set of Bridgestone winter tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Bridgestone winter tires. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, live with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
And Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this holiday season with our $155,000 Slay the Road drawing, including your chance to win a new Land Rover Defender and $10,000 cash. Earn entries all month long. Then be here on January 1st between 12 and 3 p.m. when one winner will be drawn every hour to win up to $20,000 cash. At 4 p.m., one lucky winner will win a Land Rover Defender and $10,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric and discover the comfort of the spacious three-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn.
Just out of the chute here, 888-808-1019 is the number. Hey, by the way, phenomenal response to the live BT and South show coming up on January 22nd. So it has been very well received. Aaron Boone is going to be out there with us. And, I mean, there's not that many more tickets. So if you want to come, you better jump in. It's going to be an awesome night. We can't wait. A lot of surprises planned. Obviously, Booney's coming out. A lot of fun. And we're just going to kind of celebrate with you, give us with you guys a chance to just do it in a different light. So if you guys want to check it out, my social media stuff, go right to the link, Ticketmaster, have a little fun with that. Can I read you a little something here? Yes, I can. 30 and 52. 37 and 45, 39 and 43, 33 and 49, 23 and 59, 33 and 49, 23 and 59, 32 and 50, 29 and 53. Well, you ready? Get the champagne. 42 and 40. Ooh. 36 and 30. Of course, the 54-win season was fun with Carmelo and those guys, but then it was right back to being a doormat. 37 and 45, 17 and 65, Fizdale. 32 and 50, 31 and 51, 29 and 53, 17 and 65, and 21 and 45. So I read all those Knicks seasons this century to give you the license to tell somebody to go take a hike and get lost if they are making fun of you today for enjoying the cup. Get lost, man. Don't want to hear it. You know, now some of you did not sit through all of those seasons. Many of us did. And really for those of you who did, with all the train wrecks, the Fizdales, the Hornaceks, never having a point guard, it was just absolutely brutal. Well, you know what? Flex a little bit. I mean, don't walk around like a cocky. Let's keep it in check here. It's a cup, so it's kind of a symbolic championship. But I enjoyed it. I really did. Andrew's in Queens, and I did not think that I would. Andrew, what's happening?
What's up, BT? How's it going, man?
Good.
So here's the deal. I'll say this because I don't know, just like any NDA stuff, but it's been a few years. I was a part of the focus group when the NBA pitched a group of us the NBA Cup.
Okay.
This was about 5-6 years ago in the city. I think it was like right before COVID. But I just remember being in that room, and there were about 20 of us, just all races, all ages, everything like that.
Yep.
Casual super fans. I just remember being in that room. It was me and one other Knicks fan, and they asked us, they said, if your team were to win this made-up tournament, how excited would you be? And both of us said, we don't care. And the main reason being is that it's like you play the season to win the title, to win the commissioner's trophy, to win the championship. And the one thing that I kept saying to them was, what does this benefit my team in the long run? Like, what does this mean and everything like that? And so as I sit here today, and me and that other guy, I'm curious what he thought about it.
Yep.
The other 18 were very much on board with it. They were like, oh, well, this sounds like the NCAA tournament, and we love a bracket and March Madness and the excitement. But I sit here today, and I'm sorry, I can't get excited about it. Now, maybe sometime 20, 25 years down the line in the future, it'll mean something. But I don't care that bench players are getting paid more money. How does that affect me as a fan? And so like that's my one takeaway from this. And like, yes, you're totally right. You mentioned that the NHL has their tournament, soccer, they have their different in-season tournaments, baseball world. But the biggest difference in my mind with all of those things that you mentioned and what the NBA Cup is that these are all still the same teams. All those other tournaments you mentioned, usually, with the exception of a couple soccer ones, usually it's all super teams or it's all nations or it's all, you know.
It's a different level of rooting interest. It's more, in a lot of ways, it's deeper when it comes to the country. You know, I get you. That's fair.
Exactly. And like, it's I'm sorry, it's not there for me. And like, there was nobody celebrating at the Garden, you know, on the steps of MSG last night. Like that's pretty much all you need to know. The Knicks finally won something. They won something, and yet there was no celebration.
Well,
but
they should have done a watch party. Like they do the real, you know, the real big games.
They absolutely could have, exactly, and I think that just again further shows how like this tournament, like it doesn't really mean much. I do think I will say the one benefit I will say, and I think you mentioned or Cole mentioned it earlier, where it's like, if these players, this now gives them a taste of how to perform under pressure. Now, granted, like what really was this pressure? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a game on Amazon Prime. It's a game on a Tuesday night where I guarantee you a lot of casual fans didn't even know the Knicks were playing in a cup game.
But you know
like
who
this
knew? But Andrew, hold on. You know who knew? I'll tell you who knew. The entire NBA, their peers. So everybody was watching that was connected to the league. And you had a lot of luminaries in Vegas to watch it. So again, it's not Game 7. With the clock ticking down and 9 seconds to go and you're down a bucket. And if you score, you're a champion. If you miss it, you're not. No, nobody's saying that. So Andrew called up and said, and asked, like, why should you get excited? Well, you don't have to. I mean, really, what he just said, that's a very non-emotional, very pragmatic way of looking at it. I respect that. And I wouldn't use the word excited. I enjoyed it. I didn't just, pop out of bed and skip to my car. Woo, champions, I'm like, all right, cool. Knicks. It was last night's Knick game was better than any other Knick game this year. Put it that way, and probably the semifinal was better than any other Knick game thus far this year. And they played about 25 games, so a little spike in enthusiasm, a little spike in interest, a little spike in importance. But why should you get excited? Again, you don't have to. But I'll tell you why you could get excited if you choose to, or if you chose to, and continue to choose to. Well, because generally when you win the cup, it usually means you're pretty good as a team. So, like, I could see if it was this, like if the Nets won, and no disrespect, no shade, but if the Nets won, all right. Well, actually, it might mean maybe that's the wrong example because they're so young and so in their infancy. Maybe their fans actually would love that. Let me think of more of a middling team that is. Veteran laden that just isn't going anywhere. Just let me move the standings real quick because I want to see this because I think that if it was a team like that, like why would you get excited? Well, I don't think that you should necessarily because it's not going to be a foreshadow of what could possibly happen in June. Like at least we could sit here today and say, all right, this is transferable. Now Wemby wasn't fully healthy. It wasn't the Thunder, even though we did play. It wasn't the Thunder, which is the team that I think the Knicks simply cannot beat in a 7-game series unless they make a trade. And even if they do make a trade, I don't know if they could beat them. That team is just simply better, in my opinion, by a pretty detectable margin. But get excited because the Knicks are one of the best teams in the NBA. And we knew that coming into the season. We didn't know to what extent. We still don't necessarily know. But it's a pretty interesting checkpoint. It's got a little bit of value to it, huh? So I wanted to check this, and I'm going to do this with you here. Like, I think it would bother me. I love my numbers, whether it's Savant, and we'll do some baseball coming up next with Bellinger, Yankees and Mets with Bellinger. So that could be a little feisty here, which I'm all for. The numbers and the websites and the stats, I love it. So I went to baseball reference for something else, and then I was on basketball reference. I'm like, let me just check this. So I went to Giannis. So the Bucks won the second NBA Cup. And if you're a fan or you track this stuff and you go to these websites, specifically baseball and basketball reference, at the upper right-hand corner has all of the accomplishments. 9-time All-Star. And I'm literally looking at Giannis's. 9-time All-Star, All-NBA, 9 times, 5 times All-Defensive, blah, blah, blah. 2-time MVP, 75th Anniversary Squad, 2021 NBA Champ, All-Rookie, Most Improved, Defensive POY, Finals MVP, and then Now, what is this here? Now I'm confused. What is 2020? This might be it. It is. All right, the acronym kind of, see, I'm new to this. It says 2024-2025 IST MVP, in-season tournament. And I was curious if they were going to put that up on the reference page. Like, I hope we're not at a point, not that anybody debates basketball Hall of Fame candidacies like we do baseball. It's a totally different energy, especially with basketball being international, college, all-encompassing. But, like, I hope that that's not down the road a bullet point for, proving that somebody, this guy, imagine if LeBron was 10 years younger and he winds up winning 5 in-season tournaments, 5-time MVP. Oh, better than Jordan. He's got the most points. He's got this. He's got that. He's all this. He's that. Oh, yeah, by the way, 5-time in-season tournament, like MVP, champion. Like, that would be... I would just walk out of that conversation. I wouldn't even waste my time with that. Nick is in Elmhurst. Hopefully we don't get there. Nick is on the fan with BT. What's up, Nick?
How you doing, BT? I'm a huge fan. You guys are literally part of my morning routine, you and Sal. And I just wish you guys the best whenever you're going forward. And Sal as well. And a happy holidays to you and your family.
Thank you, Nick. Very kind. And back to you and your family as well. Thanks, buddy. What's happening?
So... obviously, I was watching the game while putting my 2-year-old son to sleep last night. I'm on my phone on Amazon Prime just praying that he goes to sleep so I can watch the game.
Yeah.
So,
those days.
So I'm watching this game, and I'm like, is this what it's like to really have a bench? Like, I've been watching the Knicks I'm only 20 years old. You know what I mean? I'm a young pup. But I've been following the Knicks forever. You know what I mean? That's my team. So it's like I haven't seen a group of guys that when the starters come off the floor that we can actually have a functional basketball team. But when the bench comes off, we don't need Brunson to score 40. Like, he could have some of the pressure off of him. And I feel like since the Cat and the Giannis trade rumors, all that stuff, I feel like that's put like a chip on his shoulder saying like, oh, they want to trade me? Okay, let's see them trade me now type of thing. You know what I mean? I feel like it just elevated his game a little bit. I'm not saying he's Giannis, he's on the same level, but it's like, I feel like it's putting like a motor back in his system. Is like, you see him making passes like he was in Minnesota. I mean, you see him spreading the floor a little more. And I'm just like, okay, maybe we have something here. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the main goal is to win an NBA championship. And the cup is nice. I mean, it was great to see. It's good for the city.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But it's really nothing too big, but it's something. You know what I mean?
It's a good moment, Nick.
So,
it's better than what happened Monday night, which was pretty much nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
At least it gives the people in New York something to cheer about, because I'm a Giants fan. You know how that ship is going.
Yes,
my uncles are Jets fans. I hear their side.
Sunk.
You know what I mean? So it's like, at least now I have something looking forward to. My son is all in Knicks gear today because he just pointed at it. He's like, I want to wear it.
He didn't say it yet. He didn't say it yet at 2, but he pointed to that. Nick, that's all. I got to bounce here, but I'm glad you had that moment with your boy. God bless and enjoy the early stages of fatherhood. All right.
Thank you, bro.
You got it, man. There's nothing like it. I remember 2 things jumped to mind as he was saying that he was watching the game with his 2-year-old son last night. So I couldn't wait to have this moment, right? So God, he's probably, I don't know, maybe 5 months old, and Jerry's been through this, craziness and breastfeeding at that point, so mommy couldn't be away for too long, even though you got the milk in the freezer. What a mess in production. Oh God. Anyway. So my wife went to get her nails done, and I'm like, finally, time, just me and my boy. Yeah, I could not wait. I called my buddies. I put him in Marist, where I went, as many of you know, sent me like a little tiny onesie Marist jersey. I put him in it, a little tiny beanie. He looked like a gangster. It was awesome. And he did not stop screaming. And I forget what you call it, that little thing in the back of your throat. What's that? The record doesn't know either. That little thing that hangs down like a little boxing speed bag. When you yell, it kind of rattles back and forth. It looked like a cartoon. All he did, Jerry, for 3 hours in a row was screaming. That little thing was rattling. I was losing my mind, right? But so I know what he's going through because he called up and he said he was hoping his son would fall asleep. Now, that was like 5 or 6 months old. That's a different territory. That is, you hold on for dear life. The other one that I really remember, this sucked. He was the same age as my last caller. He's sitting on my lap, my son, when KP goes up and yokes it over. He did. Dunks it over Giannis, rips up his knee. And I knew, even before he hit the ground, I'm like, he's done. His knee is shredded. So hold on to it. It goes fast. You know, my son's now 10, my daughter's 9. And as Jerry knows, they're not on your lap forever. You know
21
what I mean?
and 15.
God almighty. See, I remember when I first met you. So you do the math for me real fast, because I started down the hall, and I met you a few times before.
Of course.
You know, but like really get to see you day to day, where me and Teak are down the hall doing national, you obviously in the morning show with Carton at that point, a Boomer, and now Boomer and Gio. And that was 2013. So your son was 13 to 21. Did I do that right?
My oldest was born in 2004.
Okay, so he's 9 there.
Yep.
And I remember you were just really in the throes of travel baseball,
For sure.
USABL. Yep. You were cutting the grass yourself. You were coaching. Yeah. And I remember, too, I mean, maybe I really should have done it. I could use it. I remember you were floating the idea of opening a baseball facility, a batting cage.
Yeah, it was just too expensive.
And I remember coming to you and saying, hey, I'll jump in for 50 G's. Yeah. I remember, I'm like, I want in.
And that would have been... We would have been ahead of our time because it really exploded the last 5 years, maybe even 7, 8 years. But going back to 2013, there weren't many of them around.
No, now they're everywhere.
And you wonder, could you really make it work?
Right now, probably not. You know, you'd have to.
There's a lot of kids out there.
There are, and what you'd have to do, Jared, you know this. You'd have to attach multiple club teams. Yeah. If it's just a facility, hoping people waltz in to train,
100%,
you're going to be done in 3 months.
You know what it is too. You got to commit to weekends.
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? I just got done doing it.
Yeah.
You really want to jump back in again?
Yeah.
You're in the middle of it.
Well, you know I love it, man.
I know. So did I.
That fun go forever. I joke around like when I'm done coaching. Like I'm kind of joking when I say this, but I'm really not. We might be living in someplace warmer. I'm talking down the road.
Sure.
I'm going to be walking around. When I'm done coaching, I'm going to be walking around aimlessly, like park to park, just looking for somebody to coach.
Brandon, if it wasn't golf, I don't know what I would do at my time. Like right now, I'm miserable.
Yeah.
What do you do all day?
I don't.
Nothing.
Why do you think I'm here today?
Yeah, I hear
Like
you.
if we got cut and it was June, I'd be playing golf.
For sure.
I'm going to sit in my house and stare at my tree.
It's tough. It's tough.
Oh, man. Recco's one of my favorites.
Go coach basketball.
I am. I got my girl. Well, I had to miss last night from my daughter's team. Now I'm starting to coach her more than my son. But I had St. John, so I missed the practice.
That's right.
But she has their first game tomorrow night. And I'll tell you, they are totally different. You know, one of them treats it like it's game 7 of everything. My son and my daughter's still doing cartwheels, you know, when she scores a bucket.
We're playing basketball.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
I trust me, I do. Learned my lesson when I got booted from that game. Anyway, let's get the update. Recco's got We'll come back. Little Yanks and Mets both going after Bellinger. And apparently the Mets even more so than we thought. And I got a message, and it's not for Booney. It's not for Cash. It is for Hal. Next, after Recco.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. The Knicks, your NBA Cup winners with their 124-113 victory over the Spurs in Las Vegas last night. Won a couple of big games, and head coach Mike Brown says winning elimination games like this will help us going forward.
That can propel you come the right time when you're in that environment to be able to handle the pressure because you've already been through it. So there's a lot of positives about it, but the most positive is being able to hang a banner up in MSG, the most iconic arena in the league.
And Jalen Brunson was the MVP. The Knicks will be at Indiana tomorrow night. The Dolphins are indeed benching Tua for Sunday's game against the Bengals. They will give the start to Quinn Ewers. The Canucks shut out the Rangers 3-0. The Red Wings beat the Islanders 3-2. Devils in Vegas tonight. This report brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. And by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, moneyline, and prop wagers made at the Meadowlands Racetrack. FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager in Pleasant, New Jersey. Gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Current temperature brought to you by your local Mazda dealer. It's 40 degrees in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
start in a shotgun set. They bring pressure.
The Vikings are coming to MetLife to take on rookie sensation Jackson Dart and the Giants. 1 o'clock Sunday.
Dart throws it to his right for Robinson, who makes the catch in the end zone.
The home of the New York Giants is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the Odyssey app.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5, the smart choice for those who expect more. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety, there's more to a Mazda. Celebrate the More to Move You winter sales event and lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Talk New York sports here.
Play 119 is the number. What in the world is going on with my pen? Did you see that? It's like the microphone attacked the pen. It was weird. It's like this wire, and somehow it actually moved and ripped it out of my hand. That was very weird. All right, of course, this show brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. We will get back to the Knicks stuff. Good job by them. Really good run, fun. I enjoyed it. You know, I used to dump all over it. The cup, contrived, lame, weak. What are we doing? NBA stinks. They lost their way. Not that I'm leading the shouts of glee, but I definitely enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the semis. I enjoyed last night. It really just comes down to this: interest, passion, play hard, play with purpose. You know, the way the NBA used to be. And that's really good to see. So I did enjoy it. Some of you, of course, are not feeling it. Some of you, of course, are maybe going a little bit over the top. I would say I'm somewhere in between, certainly much more toward the enjoyment side. All right. I got to issue a warning here. I don't even really need to sell this too hard. Let me just give you a few very quick thumbnail bullet points. So, there is one MLB writer, last name Schoenfield. I don't really know him too well, but he is a reputable writer. He predicts that the Mets will get Bellinger for 6 years, 180. That's his prediction. I told you I was watching Sports Night last night, as I often do, and they were debating about, and certainly talking about how the Mets are, quote, very in on Cody Bellinger for his services. That as per Mark Feinsand. Okay, now, the way I feel about Bellinger is I would love for him to come back to the Yankees. I really would. He does, and we know what he does, so I'm not wasting anybody's time telling you what he does. What he does, they need. Now, the problem is what he does, the Mets also need. And the reported deal, and Schoenfeld, I believe is how you say his name, not only did he give you specific contractual parameters, 6 years, 180, he went so far as to say he thinks it's going to happen or predicts in the next couple of days. So, in all probability, before Christmas. Things could break down. There's a million different people out there with a million different sources. I'm not taking this as gospel, but I'm certainly not here to refute it. He's a reputable journalist, and I respect that. And, you know, I've known Feinsand for a long time. I like his work. I think he's good. I don't think he's one of these sensationalists, which drive me crazy. So when he says the Mets are, quote, very in, I'm buying that, and I believe it. Okay. Now, Bellinger at 8 years, which is not going to happen, is sheer idiocy.
I think Bellinger at 7 years is irresponsible. I think Bellinger, if he goes to the Mets for 6 years and Hal Steinbrenner allows that to happen, that should be probably much more even than Soto, the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened under his watch. Because it's one thing to swoop in and, make these concessions, which, by the way, I'm kind of happy the Yankees didn't make all those sweet concessions for Soto's family. Don't get me wrong. Would have been nice to see a couple of more years of Soto and Judge. It was phenomenal for the 1 year. But big picture, the defense, lack of foot speed. I know he stole 40 bases. He's Ricky. I know. My bad. I just don't think he's going to age incredibly well, but I think it's an irresponsible contract. Now, the Mets could get out of it. He can opt out. Mets decide if they want to tack on some more money, they keep him or not. So it's not really basically a decade and a half worth of contract if they don't want it to be. So that's the trap door, which was smart by the Mets, right? But that's one thing, because I can compartmentalize all the good stuff and all the things that I think made that contract unnecessary for the Yankees to keep going. They went pretty far, and I was fine with it, all right? And they lost out, and he's a Met. And he had a good season, and I think this year he'll have a better season because he'll be more consistent, hopefully from the start and hopefully with runners in scoring position. But that's the Soto situation. If you allow the Mets to swoop in now, and take Bellinger, that is an unforgivable offense. It really is. Now, again, this is just an estimate. This is somebody, throwing out numbers, 6 years, 180. If it's 7 years, 190, if it's 8 years, which it won't be, but I'm just saying, whatever, stop. I'm not even interested in him for 6 years, quite frankly. Because I do think this has gotten to a point where he's now, how we present Bellinger is a little heightened. I mean, it's great to be versatile, truly, and it's great to make contact and play multiple positions and have some pop and be a good fielder and have pretty good wheels. But, he's not Ken Griffey Jr. or Bonds or A-Rod. Relax. Or Aaron Judge. But because of the desperation and the holes, the Mets more desperate because they have more holes, but the Yankees have holes as well because you don't know what Jones and Dominguez really are, et cetera. You don't know if Grisham bangs 34 home runs again, and you don't really know if Ben Rice can handle first base. So because of all that, the Yankees should be beyond motivated to keep him. I don't think that they are. I'm not really feeling it. See, let me tell you the way this works. The way this works is, it doesn't mean that it's always right, but when you get something that definitive, that concrete, 6 years, 180 for one guy, fine sand, Mets are very in. You haven't heard a peep about the Yankees with Bellinger. Now, maybe that is a good thing. Bellinger knows them. He knows them, and they know him, I should say. So there's really not a lot to volley to the media, to plant stories just to get a little extra juice. And, the leverage is what it is. All right, I'm going to ask for this, and you know what I can do, and you're either willing to pay it or you're not. And at that point, Bellinger's going to have to make a tough decision. Whereas with, the Mets and his agent, you want to get that out there because you want to create competition. And if the Mets weren't interested in Bellinger, and the Dodgers, who I think have tepid interest, I don't think he's going to wind up there, even though they've been connected. But if you took out those two teams, who's really chasing him outside of the Yankees? Maybe Toronto if they whiff on Tucker, right? Maybe. So you're creating a market. But 6 years, 180 is the drop dead point for me. I'm not going to year 7. He's not worth it. But if he goes to the Mets and it is 6 years, and the Yankees have the ability to top that, at least in terms of money, maybe not years, and they don't, then that is just, that's just unacceptable. That is unacceptable. You cannot let the Mets swoop, and I've tried not to make this, and this was a mandate that me and Sal had probably halfway through the show, after the first year. It always seemed to be, we're talking about the Mets, and then the Yankees pop in. We're talking about the Yankees, then the Mets pop in. No, I'm not trying to do this here, but they are not two separate issues. The Yankees need Bellinger. The Mets need Bellinger. The Mets took Soto from you last year. The Mets seem poised to take Bellinger from you this year. The onus is on the owner to step up, push everybody else out of the way. Cashman, the analytical nerds, whoever they are, get out of the way. Get me on the phone like you got on the phone with Judge from Italy. What do you need to make it happen? And make it happen. The PR hit, you don't recover from that. Like you might get me once. You get me again in back-to-back years. Well, now the tides are turning. And I know the Mets didn't have as good a season as the Yankees, and they haven't won since '86. But perceptually, everything that we thought Cohen would do, outside of keeping Pete, and I know that bothers you, I get it, but he's not done. And if he comes back into your crib and takes one of your valued players who makes you better at 3 different spots and who so cleanly fits behind Judge, and you don't fight back, then what the hell does the Yankee aura really mean at that point? What does it mean? He's not a perfect player, but he's perfect for you. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. 888-808-1019. It's BT on the Fan. Let me get, all right, Larry's up in Westchester. Get back to these calls. What up, Larry?
BT, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Can't complain. Listen, BT, again, with Bellinger, the Mets really, really need him very badly. But I still think when push comes to shove, Hal's going to step up and do the right thing. He's going to end up back with the Yankees. Probably for the 6 years, the $30 million, $180 million. I don't think you have anything to worry about as far as that goes.
To me, that's not how I operate. I don't just expect things to happen like I used to because they're the Yankees. And I'll let you. I know you want to make another point. See, and I'll let you. I promise. There was a point, and every Yankee fan knows where I'm coming from when I say this. Like, it didn't matter who it was. It didn't matter how much it was. Giambi, didn't get Giambi, of course, with the Yankees. Matsui from Japan, of course we're going to get him. Yeah. I mean, that's the way it went. And that was the expectation. We're going to win the World Series. Why wouldn't we with the Yankees? I have not held on to that for a long time. Some people still do, even though that number is dwindling. So when you say I'm fine and they'll get him, I'm not taking anything for granted because it's a different mode of operation in the Bronx lately.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly, BT. Like I said, I go way back with the Yankees and the Mets back into the 60s. And when Steinbrenner, the old man, owned the team, forget it, whoever he wanted, he got. It's changed drastically since Hal took over. But it's just, since the Mets took Soto, I just don't feel that Hal's going to step up at the last minute and retain Bellinger.
I mean, he might, but he better.
Yeah, that's just my gut feeling about it. And I believe me, I'd love to see him in a Met uniform. He's perfect for us. That being said, I know it's early in the offseason, but I still haven't seen any kind of concrete plan what the Mets are going to do. They've let over $100 million walk out the door, and yet McNeil is still on this team, which mystifies me.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Yeah. And, I mean, again, I was all for blowing up the team. I talked to Sal about it. But Alonso, how do you replace 40 homers and 120 RBIs despite the faults that he had?
Yeah.
I think that was a big mistake, and they're going to have a hard time replicating that production at first base. But we'll see what happens.
Well, Larry, that's the
San
point.
Diego.
Now, finish up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
No, that's it. I mean, they're talking with San Diego. I heard some kind of rumors that they were interested in Tatis for Lindor, something like that. That wouldn't kill me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Lindor, I still think there's a lot more to him than meets the eye.
I feel you a little bit on that. Larry, thank you for the call, bud. Appreciate it. I mean, it's been a very quiet off season. I mean, this time last year, Sal's coming in here with the scepter and then the music and the red carpet and the purple robe, like Carly Race welcoming Soto. And I had to sit there and take it, and I did. But then my Yankees went out and did some good stuff. Got a closer who, up until last year, was the best in baseball. Better than Diaz. Not by much, but better. A little different, but better. Objectively speaking, not subjectively speaking. And they went out and they got Bellinger. And they went out and they did some things that I really liked. Goldschmidt didn't work out the way that I thought it might, but I thought the pivot was strong. I mean, all we're doing this year is losing guys, both teams. So that's got to stabilize itself really soon. It has been a very quiet depressing hot stove. But I think what he just said about the Mets, how do you replicate Pete's production? You don't. And I've been saying this for a long time. And I think back then you were resistant to it because I don't think that you thought that Pete really would ever be gone. It sucks that he is. I get it. But never once did I say, no, go find another guy who's going to hit 40 home runs. There is nobody. I mean, it's like he's 37. When you're a fairly young guy and you're a prodigious home run hitter and you're a low-maintenance teammate and you play every day and you've had some massive home runs and some big moments, generally your team doesn't let you leave. Usually. Except the Mets, which I agree with. But it was never, we'll find the next guy, put him at first base, 39 home runs, 113 ribbies, and oh yeah, by the way, hopefully a better fielder. No. My thought always was to build a better team. So you improve the defense, you're going to slice off 15 home runs, maybe more, but maybe get a higher average, maybe get fewer strikeouts, maybe get better on the bases, maybe become a better defensive right side. Certainly with Simeon and whomever you bring it for, it's going to be Polanco a little bit, and he's got good hands, so whatever, we'll see. But it was never like apples to apples. It was always, all right, Pete goes, there's an unconventional way to get better. That's what I've always thought, and they haven't done it yet. I mean, right now the Mets are on a playoff team. Right now their rotation stinks. They're not entering the season this way. Whereas the Yankees, if they don't get Bellinger, if he goes to the Mets or somewhere else, I don't really know what the pit. Maybe it's Bichette, maybe, which I'd be okay with, as I said yesterday. He could play shortstop this year. When Lombard is ready, he could then go to third base because McMahon's deal will be up, and then Volpe, if he deserves it, could go to second base where he's probably better suited with his arm. Like, that would be okay. I don't know that they do it. And I'll also say this, if they do get Bellinger, then that's probably it. Maybe one more arm. So there's not much more coming. But what does come, certainly for the Yankees and to a lesser extent the Mets, it's going to determine if they're a playoff team. Not if they're a World Series type of team. I think it determines if they're going to go to the playoffs, All right, Dove. Let's get a mixed bag here, buddy. Yankees, Mets, Knicks. I wouldn't have it any other way, right? As we start to wind things down on the midday show. This is your final day, right? You and I will not be...
Correct.
Oh, man, not your final day. Your final day literally is the 31st, I think?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to have to say a couple of things to you later because you are off Friday, as you are for religious purpose. By the way, happy Hanukkah, Dove.
Thank you.
Did the mensch on the bench come by with any goodies for you?
No. Yeah. I'm at the stage where I give the goodies, not receive the goodies.
Yeah, but do you buy into that commercialized stuff? I know you're all about...
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. But many are, and hopefully the mensch was dropping some good stuff for you. Although I did see you tweet the candy, like the coins. So
yes,
you are into it.
My wife bought some chocolate coins for my daughter.
Well, there you go.
I don't know if you saw the picture. It's like Bitcoin instead of...
I saw it. I know, I did see it. So you're off Friday, and then Friday's my last day, and I'm off tomorrow, and you're working. So I got to say a couple things nice on the air about Dove. I just have to think what they are. Just kidding, buddy. 888-808-1019, BT on the Fan.
It's a hot one with the Nets and Heat. 7:30 tomorrow night.
Claxton with a rebound, taking it coast to coast, and a slam on the left hand.
The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is the Fan. 101.9 FM and always streaming on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey apps.
FanDuel is the #1 sports book for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live. All in one easy-to-use app, and right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/Evan to sign up today. FanDuel.com/Evan. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning, and you too can be so much more.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business?
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Now's the time to enroll in quality, affordable health insurance through Get Covered New Jersey. All plans provide free preventive care, coverage for prescriptions, emergency services, and more. Plus 8 in 10 get financial help. Enroll by December 31st for January 1st coverage at getcovered.nj.gov.
We're here with attorney Mark Miner of the personal injury law firm of Zalman, Schnurman, and Miner. Mark, winter conditions can make walking treacherous. What responsibilities do property owners have in regards to snow and ice?
Well, all property owners must keep their property in a reasonably safe condition. When it comes to snow or ice, this means that within a reasonable time after snowfall ends, all walking surfaces must be made safe.
Now, what must be done to make the property safe?
All snow and ice should be removed. If all snow and ice cannot be removed, then ice melt or sand should be applied.
Do you handle many cases involving snow and ice?
Absolutely. Slipping and falling on ice can result in terrible injuries.
If someone is injured in an accident, what should they do?
They can call us at 1-800-LAW-LINE for a free consultation. We can quickly determine whether there is a claim worth pursuing, and there's never a fee unless there's a recovery.
If you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-LINE. That number again is 1-800-LAW-LINE.
Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. One legendary name, two exceptional destinations.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
It's been over 7 years since Pastor Billy Richards was treated successfully for prostate cancer by Perlmutter Cancer Center, the world's #1 cyberknife program. After 5 treatments in 1 week, Pastor Billy went right back to leading his Brooklyn congregation.
Cyberknife is truly a blessing for me, my family, and my ministry. If you have prostate cancer, I urge you to look into Cyberknife.
For an appointment, call NYU Langone's Perlmutter Cancer Center at 833-1-CYBER. That's 833-ONECYBR.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Their thing, Mets reportedly, to the degree I'm not exactly sure of the extent here, maybe midfield, maybe at the Yankees 40. I don't think it's inside the red zone, but the way it's being positioned, maybe getting ready to swoop in and take Bellinger, which cannot happen for the Yankees. You cannot have that twice in a row, back-to-back years. No way. No way. All right, let's get back to the calls. All right, 888-808-1019. Pete's in Seaford as he checks in. Talk a little Mike Brown. What's going on, Pete?
Hey, what's going on? Listen, I'm not crazy about the cup, as it were, either way. But what it was a playoff atmosphere against a good, young, up-and-coming team, and more specifically, the kind of team in the Spurs that are supposed to give the Knicks fits. Long, athletic, rangy, the kind of guys that you could switch 5 different guys onto Brunson. And Brunson didn't have a great shooting night, 27 points on 27 shots, something like that. But what it showed really was a lot of the things that Mike Brown brings to the table that Tibbs just didn't do even in the playoffs, which is, Bridges, either he was dealing with something or just didn't have it last night. And to go to Tyler Kolek the way that he did down the stretch in the fourth quarter is just something we never would have seen in the last 5 years from Tom Thibodeau. And because Brown has an opportunity like this to work things out in regular season games and not treat every game like it's Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals the way Tibbs did, is going to make this team better in the long run, where you don't have to say, oh, no, these guys have only played 3 minutes together all season. How can I go to them in a big spot in the playoffs? Brown is giving this team that sort of leverage in December, and it'll pay off for them in April.
That's a great point. That's one of the things I said earlier, Pete. Thanks for the call. So aside from the fact that, the Knicks from a competitive point of view get really tested, in a cup format, just more eyeballs, more attention. The way Mike Brown's approaching the season is admirable. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to win, whatever. Well, I mean, it's not like Thibodeau was cranking out 66 wins a year in the regular season. So I was going to say it's fun to win a ton of games. I mean, he won games, but it was never over the top crazy. Knicks were always a good team with him, and he was always a good coach. I thought they hit their level, and I just thought it's time for a totally new voice, totally new philosophy. And, they looked as if they were fairly clueless during the coaching search. I mean, Mike Brown was not their first choice. We all know that. Sometimes you get a little bit lucky. And this very well might be the early stages of the Knicks getting a little bit lucky. Listen, the one thing that I've always liked about Brown, first of all, he's won a lot. He's won 60% of his regular season games, and he's coached basically 800 games. Like, he's been around. And he wins a lot during the regular season, all right? He's been with different franchises, different personalities, obviously with the Lakers, with the Cavaliers, with LeBron. Lakers, as high profile as it gets. The Kings, a young team who are usually not very good at all, kind of like the West Coast Knicks before the Knicks had this renaissance here. And he was able to regenerate them and get them to, and then, of course, it went sideways, and the players kind of, I think emotionally checked out on him, and he was fired. But to think that he didn't do a good job in Sacramento, you just weren't watching the NBA. I don't know what to tell you. 2-time coach of the year. And he's also been with elite franchises as an assistant. Now, you're not the main guy. You're not making the main decisions. Understood. When you lose, you're not up there at the podium. You could go in there and have a beer in the coach's room and just kind of escape the fray. But when you're with the Warriors and the Spurs, as he was for a while, as an assistant Pop is a great coach, and Kerr's a really good coach. Some think he's great. I don't. I think he's just had great players. I think Pop is better coach than Kerr. But either way, great franchises. And you're in the middle of that. You're in the middle of a lot of winning. And I think both franchises went about their business a little differently. Pop was more regimented, and I think the Warriors were a little more loose. And here we are. He's got a very diverse resume, and he looks ready for the job, no doubt. Let me get Ronnie and Inwood on the fan next. What's up, Ronnie?
Yeah, what's up, BT? I'm calling to talk about the Knicks. Now, Mitchell Robinson has really got into shape. Man, that incentive that players get 50% of their contract must have really motivated him, because I never seen him move that fast. And also, Josh Hart has developed a three-point shot, which I love to see. He's not now, looking for somebody to pass at the three-point line. He's shooting in now. Defenders are starting to respect Josh Hart's three-point. And now I see him. And then Cat was okay. Brunson won the MVP. And listen, the Knicks are good to go to the finals, and you know why? Because the East is not as strong as it was. Halliburton is out. Jason.
You chop it up. No, we know what's going on in the East. Thanks for the call there, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics are better than I thought they'd be without their horse, Jason Tatum. Obviously, the Pacers are awful. They've got 6 wins. Knicks play them, I think it's tomorrow, right? Because then they play the Sixers on Friday. They go back-to-back. Listen, the thing about Josh Hart, one of the things, and I mean, you love the guy. You love him. And I love him. But I don't love him as a starter on a championship team. I love him coming off the bench. And that's the role that he's supposed to be in. And he's still going to get the heavy minutes. And the one thing that bothered me about that, really the only thing, because his motor is through the roof. Rebound, attack the rim, great teammate, defense. I mean, he's just an all-around ball player. But you don't have to. You need 5 great shooters on the court, and he's not a great shooter. But in the modern NBA, you at least need guys who are willing to put it up. And too many times when he was on the court, and he was always on the court for Tom Thibodeau because Tom really trusted him. It's too often it was 4 on 5. All right, he's not going to shoot. Let's sag off him. And you can't space it out that way because now the second defender can float over to Brunson, float over to Towns. If OG's having a big night, maybe throw somebody his way. That's just not good for the health of an offense. So the fact that, number one, he is shooting a little bit better this year, I do like that. And he's also shooting more. A matter of fact, he is averaging 4 attempts a year. That is the most that he's averaged since the 2021 season in a game. So, a little more emphasis on shooting the ball from deep. Let me get Mad Mike down in Charlotte on the Free Odyssey app. BT on the Fan. Mike, what's up?
Hey, BT, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Hanging in there, man. I just want to thank you and Sal. You guys are the best. I love you. Make sure you keep us updated because I'm going to follow you wherever you guys go, and you will sorely be missed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We appreciate that. Thanks, man.
Point 2, St. John's, baby. We're on the way. I think it's going to be another championship in New York for hoops. What do you think?
It's interesting. I did the game last night, and, they're not a championship team yet. They're just not. Now, the good news is you got Rick Pitino to get them there. First of all, what happened early in the year, and it was fun. You see the first rankings come out. Wow, St. John's number 5 in the country in the AP, which, by the way, was the highest they've ever started a season ranked. Even more so, and I didn't even realize this, than the 85 Final Four team with Mullen and Walter Berry and that crew, which was phenomenal, which was the team that got me hooked on St. John's. So I know last year was a massive disappointment against Arkansas. I was there. I was up in Providence, did the game with Mink, and that was a really rough ending to an awesome special season. The Garden was alive. Pitino is an A-list star. He just is. He just brings immediate attention, and he's just a man. I mean, I think Rick is one of the 3 or 4 best college coaches of all time. I've always said that, and I believe it. And the way it ended was definitely deflating. Like, they just didn't play well against Arkansas. The whole thing with R.J. Lewis and benched, which I agreed with because he was not playing within the boundaries of the team. I love him. He just kind of stepped out of it a little bit. So I had Rick's back on that. But for this year, you come in, you're number 5, and you got all these new players. Like, there's a lot of things happening with St. John's, many of which I like, but things that they still need to do. And you know what? I'll do a little bit here very quickly. First of all, I like the fact that Ian Jackson's now the starting point guard. He's got an NBA talent. He does. Coming in from Carolina. He's got to get used to it, all right? I think that one thing that I've noticed, and this speaks to his character, and I've said this a couple times during the games with Mink, because, Zuby, who is an unbelievable basketball player and human being, but basketball play is great. He's a phenomenal player. And I feel like every game that I do, maybe a little hyperbolic, but most of them, I look up, midway through the first half or late first half, Zuby's got 4 points or 5 points, just a little quiet offensively when he wasn't that way a year ago. Now, the reason I think he's doing that, and I get it, is he's kind of deferring to get Hopkins and Jackson and Sannon and all these new players involved and make them feel comfortable, which is what a captain does. I just don't want to lose. I don't want him to lose his identity as a guy that can still go and get you 25 and destroy people. So that's one thing that's jumped out. Their depth is insane. It's absolutely insane. I think Sannon, who I think is the best shooter on the team, not statistically, but him and Sellers has been very good this year. Sannon's been a little streaky. That's starting to change. Yeah, I mean, they're obviously a really good team. Right now, do I look at St. John's as a national championship team? I don't. I don't look at them that way right now. But I'll tell you what,
go back this time last year. And, we all watch Kadori, those of us who watch college hoops and love it. I watched Kadori Richmond a lot at Seton Hall. And it took him a while to start feeling it with St. John's. And when he did, that ceiling just soared for this team, and they went 31-5. And they won the regular season championship. They won the Big East tournament. Granted, disappointing ending up in Providence, but it was an awesome season. It really was. It was a throwback season. It was as much fun as anything I've ever had in my career. It was that much fun until it ended. So I do think there's a couple of players who have even yet, they're just not even what they're going to be in a month. I think Jackson's one of them. I think Sannon's one of them. I think you're going to start seeing some more big games from Zuby. And when you see that, well, then I think St. John's could be a Final Four team. Not there yet. I just think they were a little overranked. Part of that is the Patino factor, the buzz, But when you bring 7 new players, as they have, it just doesn't happen overnight. It does not. 888, but of course, very talented, no doubt. No doubt. Kentucky this Saturday, it's going to be sick. Beat Kentucky, will you? Let's go. All right. We'll get back to the calls here. Little Knicks, Yankees, Mets, Chase and Bellinger, little Johnny's if you want, whatever you want. There's not many rules here, Dovey. Not with a day and a half to go. This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and the optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated stylings of the Lyric and discover the comfort of the spacious 3-row Vistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. The show today, of course, brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. All right, let's get to the Odyssey Sportsman now. Brought to you by Flag and Anthem. Real clothes, real life.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Miami Dolphins paid their quarterback, and now they're paying the price. Tua Tagovailoa's style works when everything's perfect and falls apart when it's not. Miami paid him anyway, and now they're stuck. Tua's contract makes cutting him too expensive, but keeping him limits the offense and the future. All come with major drawbacks. Unless they hit big on a young quarterback, the Dolphins are likely headed for a holding pattern season while they wait for a way out. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Cloudy skies with a high around 45.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
Embrace the spirit of the season in comfort and style. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is here. Your moment to make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, including the versatile GLC and GLE SUVs, there's the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Enjoy legendary Ray Cattina customer service and see why Mercedes-Benz of Edison was named the 2024 Mercedes-Benz Dealership of the Year by Cars.com. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash. Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Great deals are waiting for you at your local Kia dealer during the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So, gift yourself some savings and drive home a capable Kia SUV or powerful Kia sedan today.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Boomer here. If you love cooking as much as I do, you got to listen up. The Chef IQ Mini Oven is your all-in-one kitchen hero. It bakes, broils, air fries, dehydrates, slow cooks, toasts, and more. It's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, a color touchscreen, a soft closed door. It even syncs with the Chef IQ app and pair it with the IQ Sense thermometer for perfect USDA-safe temps every single time you cook. So why not grab yours right now at chefiq.com. Use my name, code word Boomer, to save 30% at checkout.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Well, Petty, I would have liked to have seen Tom Petty in concert. That would have been good. That would have been good. Well, Dove is grabbing the headsets. Is he about to tell me that he actually saw Tom Petty?
I did.
You did that? What?
At Giant Stadium.
Okay, what year? 90s?
Probably late 80s.
What?
I think I went when I was first here at the Fan.
Do you remember who you went with? Do you remember who opened for him, if anybody?
I think it was a couple of people I worked here at the station with.
Well, I would imagine, like, could you be a little more specific? I mean, was it Schmooze? I mean, was it somebody like that?
No, it wasn't on their staff.
Okay, gotcha. That's awesome. So you saw Petty.
Love Petty.
I do too. He's I was going to say he's one of the underrated voices, but I don't really think he's underrated. I think everybody who appreciates music knows Tom Petty is just phenomenal. You know, let me say this to you now, though, because I don't know where the show's going to go today, because obviously we've got a lot to do. I want to keep going with the Knicks stuff and the Bellinger stuff, Yanks, Mets, whatever it is, little Johnny stuff I throw on the table. 888-808-1019, BT Solo on the Fan. So I'll finish out today's, listen, I'm not trying to belabor this. I just want to let you guys know that it's coming to an end, as many of you know by now. So I've got the rest of today. I am off tomorrow. Not sure who's filling in. Quite honestly, could not care less. Doesn't matter.
Do you want me to tell you?
It does. Honestly, if nobody shows up, guess how much I care? 0. Okay? And then I'm back on Friday. Yeah, you tell me. Go ahead.
It's Moose.
All right, well, I like Moose. So hopefully Moose has a good time. Yeah, no, Moose is a good guy. So hopefully Moose has fun. But really, if Moose gets stuck in traffic, God forbid, and doesn't make it, don't call me. I'm not showing up. All right, I'll be here Friday. But you will not be here Friday.
Correct.
So I would like to say to you, you know, it's funny. One of the things, the personalities at this place, God, they're so eclectic. There's so many. At the end of the day, we're all whacked out in our own minds. We're all weird and nutty and eccentric here. To carve out a career in this business, you got to be a little bit off, especially if you're on the air. Like, think about how unnatural that is to, it is, there's an element of performance, obviously. You turn it on a little bit. Now, if you completely change who you are, you're probably not a very authentic talent. You're not probably very good, but whatever. The mic goes on, we turn it up a little bit. And then there's those who are less like the focal point of a lot of the things that happen at the station behind the scenes. And Dove is not the only one here. But without them, without those men and women, we're not getting on the air. I mean, so first of all, that's the basic thing. but more on a personal level to Dove. You know, you and I we had a lot of conversations about real life stuff, whether it's religion, you know. I would ask you things about I would ask you things about Judaism. And I found it very interesting where you went to St. John's, but yet are Jewish. So, like, we've talked about those things. You got your master's from St. John's, right? Yeah, undergrad. That's right, undergrad. So I have always looked at you, in all sincerity, as, like the rest of us, an absolute weirdo in a good way.
Why, thank you.
No, you're welcome. But just an emotionally stable, very affable, very giving of your time, very patient, especially sitting in a room with me and Sal sometimes. Patience is it's required. And I think the smartest person here in terms of sheer intellect and sheer knowledge of the world. And I would even say that I really respect the way you truly care about humanity, how you care about people. I know what matters to you. It's less about did the Yankees win, did the Knicks win. It's more about things that are much more important than that. And while I don't understand all of it because we are of different religion, I love your quest for knowledge, and I just think you're a good soul, and I wish you happiness. I truly do, and I've enjoyed being with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a very high compliment, and this is not the end.
I know. But it is for this day-to-day interaction.
On these airwaves, it might be the end.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm actually debating. I might end the show on Friday talking about music. How about the Doors? This is the end. This is the end. This is the end, my friend. Love you, man. You're good, man. You're a good person.
Thank you. It's been a great experience with you and with Sal.
Yep, no doubt. Thank you, Dove. All right, let's get back to you guys. 888-808-1019. How about Dom is in Westport on the Fan with BT? What's up, Dommy?
Hey, BT. I just want to say thank you to Sal. I didn't get a chance to call in last week. And your staff. I've been a loyal listener since day one in 2023, and I'm going to miss you guys, but hopefully, I wish you the best. And I just want to say something, if you give me a minute, before I have my point about the whole championship thing last night.
Go for it.
I'm going to quote a movie, and from A Few Good Men. You played We Are the Champions, and you said you're going out a champion. You don't need to wear a patch on your arm to have honor, and you didn't need that to be a champion because you're a champion to a lot of our fans.
I appreciate that. It's a great movie. It's a great compliment. Thank you, man. That means a lot, Dom. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you. I mean, I would bring you guys. I'd listen to you. I was in Greece. I think I called right before I went, and I would listen to the because I had to hear what BT and Sal said. Best show on the Fan by far. We're going to be missed.
We loved it.
I just want to say thank you. I just want to say, and I loved your game. I love your gambling stories. And Nick Costos, who's a Fordham Ram like me, so shout out to Nick.
Good guy.
And he gave you a shout out on his show, which I'm sure you know, his Sunday morning show, and really going to miss that spot. But anyway, I want to say, been a long-time Knicks fan. Love, BK, Bernard King. So
me too.
I'm with you there. But I go back to Willis Reed. I'm 65. Game 7, walking out, against the Lakers, hobbling out there. And while I'm not a big proponent of this, I don't want to detract from it. It is important to energize our sports because it's been terrible. We haven't had a winner since the Giants in 2011. And when you started rattling off earlier the records for the Knicks, I'm like, no wonder why nobody cares. So I just want to tell you, thank you so much. And really, you're going to be missed, you and Sal, and hope to cross paths at some point.
No, I'm not going away. Just in this time spot. Thank you, Dom. Means a lot. Thank you very much. Mention Bernard King. God, did I love watching that guy play. There's just certain players that it's hard to explain. You got to really love it on the deepest possible level, like I obviously do, and like many of you. It's almost like a drug. There's such a connection. And obviously, Matt Eagley's my all-time favorite. I'll tell you a little funny story. Dove, you want to hear this? This is funny. So, my sister would come home, A, Honor Society, just brilliant, just never, ever got in trouble once. Then there was me. And report card days were a little different. It's just a different dynamic. And
And she studied at Oxford. Like, my sister is sincerely brilliant. I don't know how I didn't get any of it. It would have been nice to get a shred of it. And I remember 4th grade. This is Bernard King. I'm going to wrap into Bernard King. So 4th grade, whatever grades I was getting, my dad pulls out, which ironically, look what I got my yellow legal pen. Not like Summers. I don't write stuff down to read it. I'll just jot down notations to keep my thoughts moving. Anyway, or points of reference. So my dad sits me at the kitchen table, this little circular, small kitchen, and he's, all right, I kept asking for a basketball hoop from Santa. So I think I was in the 3rd grade, I think. And, my dad was still on the job at that point, so he didn't have a ton of disposable money, and Santa, it's not cheap for him to make either. Anyway, he sits me down and he basically writes up, I'll never forget this contract. And basically, I wish I still had it. God, that would be amazing. But it was basically like, hey, if you get this in this grade and in this subject and this and that and this and that and this and that. And when he took my strengths, like spelling and reading and writing, you better get A's in that. That's a given. Then the other stuff that I struggled in, like math, honestly, it may have been a B-. I wasn't that good. Science wasn't that good. Whatever it was a contract that I signed. And if I met it with the report card, then they would instruct Santa to bring the hoop, right? It's like the only time I studied in my life. I get it. I meet the parameters. And I wake up on Christmas morning, and I'll never forget. Like, my sister, she was excited opening her gifts, but I would run down the stairs like the road runner. I just tore into it, man. And to my surprise and amazing satisfaction, and my stuff was always on the left part of the tree, there's this massive white fiberglass backboard with a huge red ribbon on it and a pair of black and white Converse weapons. Now, Bernard King had the blue and orange, but I like the black and white because I could wear them with my CYO, whatever. It just matched different stuff better than the Nick ones would have. Long story short, my dad goes out that day, puts the hoop up. I was too young to really help a lot, and it was freezing. And his buddy, Mr. Welsum, who passed away, was, I think, a sergeant in the NYPD. They put it together, and I went out there, and I used to tape my fingers. If you go back and you look at old video of Bernard King, specifically when he played the Pistons, and he averaged, I want to say, 43 points against Isaiah, Kelly Tripucka. That was the young Piston, not the bad boys before that. And it was like Louis Orr and those guys. Cartwright was still on the team. And Bernard had the flu. He had 3 broken fingers. Both hands were impacted. And he actually had both hands taped with certain digits. And I would get my dad's electrical tape from not the shed, but in the basement where the tools were. And I'd go out on that hoop, and I would pretend that I was Bernard King. And I did that every single day. The fall away from the baseline, just the fouls, the turn. And then eventually Bernard turned into Mark Jackson, and then eventually, the hoop. Then eventually what happened was we figured out that we can lower the hoop, and then it just became a dunk fest, and then we got bigger, stronger, and it broke and whatever. But Bernard King, oh my God, did I love watching him play. Again, it's like you watch certain players, and I'm sure it's like this with my son with Judge. You just watch him. You're mesmerized by him. Were you ever mesmerized by somebody when you were young?
Bobby Mercer.
There you go. That's Michael K's favorite too.
Yeah.
Bobby Mercer.
Yeah. I remember when my dad tried to break the news to me softly that he was traded.
To the Cubs? He was dealt to the Cubs?
It was a Giants. It was for Bobby Bonds, Barry's father.
That's right. I knew he played for the Giants too, but for the Cubs as well. Bobby Mercer, good pick. Gentleman too, by all accounts, one of the great people in the game that no longer with us. But all right, there you go. That's my long-winded Bernard King story. That's my way of telling you that.
I want to know if you expected to see the hoop or you weren't sure Santa got the message.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Santa's busy. You really never know. And then the sneakers next to it too. The black and white Converse weapons, and it was the biggest bag. It was fiberglass. It was so heavy. I remember my dad and his buddy just getting it from the living room out to the yard. Oh man, phenomenal memories. All right, there you go. 888-808-1019 BT on the Fan. Like I said, see a couple St. John's calls up there. The NBA Cup, the Knicks, obviously Yanks and Mets. Really, whatever it is, let's just shoot the breeze. I got today, I got Friday. Then that is a wrap. We'll get the update. We'll bogus. We'll come back. We'll get right back to the calls on the Fan.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I need to see a lot more before I'm ready to say, yes, this kid's going to be the next Jackson Dart or Drake May.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Hi, this is Greg Gallardi, General Manager of Mazda 112. On behalf of the entire Mazda 112 and Messenger families, we wish you a happy, safe, and healthy holiday season.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya Kuselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Embrace the spirit of the season during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration and make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, you'll find the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
We're your official station to talk Yankees and Mets. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12:02. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. ChefIQ.com. And by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, moneyline, and prop wagers made on all the sports action at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager and present in New Jersey. Gambling problem? Dial 1-800-GAMBLER. It might be the most important question in the city right now. Multiple outlets say the Knicks will not raise a banner for last night's NBA Cup title, but will do something with fans before Friday's game with the Sixers. Monday night, the Dolphins scored 3 points through 3 quarters and lost in Pittsburgh, ending their chance at a playoff spot. Yesterday, head coach Mike McDaniel said this about QB Tua Tagovailoa.
The quarterback play last night was not good enough. And so for me, everything's on the table.
And now reports that Tua is being benched, presumably for the rest of the season, but it's not. Former Jet Zach Wilson getting a nod instead. Quinn Ewers will start Sunday against the Bengals.
Come on.
Sorry to disappoint. I think Zach also has been the backup technically.
He has been.
So
remember, he took a knee against the Jets.
Right, so they're jumping him to get to Quinn Ewers. The current Jets, by the way, have signed tight end Jeremy Rucker to an extension, reportedly 2 years, $10 million.
By the way, you know his dad's, he's a Long Island kid. His dad's a massive Jets fan.
I did not know that. Knew the Long Island part.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know the background.
His dad posts like them doing shots, like when they're playing road games, like Fire Pit. Like he's out. He is a real Jets fan. That's awesome.
Fan weather is sponsored by Ray Cattina Mercedes-Benz of Edison. It's 37 overcast in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
At 12:03, back on The Fan. What's going on, everybody? Brandon Tierney with you. 888-808-1019 is the number. We are, of course, inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Topics, you know what they are by now. A lot of Knicks, a lot of Yanks, a lot of Mets, a little Johnnies. And really, at the end of the day, whatever you want to squeeze in. Let's get right back to the calls here. You guys are stacked and waiting on hold for a little bit. Let's go back to you. Let's go to the Bronx. William is on the fan. William, what's happening?
Hey, I'm a first-time caller. I just wanted to mention something about the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of started with the Celtics' big three, and then with Miami, and then with Golden State, and what's happening. A lot of these teams and these players were organizing to play with each other to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
So now, in the middle of the season, they're saying, I don't really want to play, even though I'm making $40 million. I want to rest. And I think it became a little cumbersome in the middle of the season. And I think the commissioner created the Cup to bring back some excitement in the middle of the season and have players play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly why he did it. Well, so you like it? Listen, let's not go nuts here, but you think it's fine, right? You're okay with it?
Well, I love the NBA,
yeah.
So I'm going to watch it regardless. I'm going to watch the Knicks regardless, but this
me too.
Kind of amped it up. Amped it up more.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough, man. Thank you for the call, and thanks for checking in for the first time. Listen, if I want to nitpick a little bit here, okay, just to be fair to the conversation, today's December 17th, so it's not really the middle of the season. Nobody's played 41 games yet, and based on the calendar, timeline, it's not in the middle of the season either. So there are dead spots, certainly in January and, of course, into February. You want to tell me maybe it's over a little bit too early? Well, I mean, maybe I could get behind that. Not enough to go nuts, but if I would tweak it a little bit, maybe they fired that bullet a little bit early, number one. Number two, now, by injecting some much more competitive, a more competitive tone into the season, even if it's for a little snippet here, couple of games here, couple of games there, you do run the risk of an adverse impact, an adverse effect here, because let's face it, last night and even the prior game with the Knicks, it was abundantly now the Knicks generally play hard anyway because they've got character, and their best players. Certainly Brunson is a man of integrity, and OG's going to play hard, and so is they just play hard. They're pros, right? But it was detectable that last night felt different, right? And if it feels too different, which it did, in a weird way, doesn't that almost weaken the NBA's regular season even more? Like the object was to inject some intensity into it, which they did for a couple of days. But now, once we go back to, and forget about the Knicks, I just mean in general, the entire NBA. Now we go back to, all right, let's pick up the rest of this boring-ass season. And I love it, but not all of you do. All right, 60-ish games to go, something like that. All right, it's going to be a snooze fest. And you're going to notice the drop-off in energy because it's palpable. It's going to be palpable. From last night to, whatever you watch tonight and over the weekend. So that's an unfortunate byproduct of a pretty good thing. Not a great thing, but better good than not. Talking about the Cup. Anthony, Old Bridge, New Jersey, BT on the fan. What's up, Ant? How are you?
BT, thanks for having me on. First things first, you and Sal were great. I really enjoyed you guys during the midday. It was like hanging out with my boys talking sports, and that's ultimately what it should be about.
That's what every show should sound like. That's a compliment. Thank you.
First things first.
Thank you.
Looking forward to January. Already got my ticket.
You got it.
Bring a box of Of course I got it. I'm going to bring a box of cards. Hopefully, we can open up some cards together, see how that goes.
Well, let me just, by the way, Ant, hold on. Let me let everybody know what's going on. So some of you do, some of you don't. Anthony already got his tickets. It's coming up January 22nd. It is in Red Bank. Certain things I just can't say because I can't give free promotion, so I got to respect that.
No problem.
From WFAN, which I certainly will. I mean, hell, if I'm still on the air, I'm not gonna take a blowtorch to the place now. Just go to my socials. It's gonna be me and Sal live show. We're gonna have a Frank Sinatra impersonator, the absolute best in the world. Aaron Boone's gonna be up there. Now, here's the only thing that I worry about, Am. We already ripped a pack of cards, me and Sal versus Booney. Sal beat him individually, and I beat him individually. Now, I would like to do it again, but, me and Sal are the champs against Boone. So if I do it in front of 500 people and I lose, I don't know if I want to go out that way, Ant.
That's all right. I would bring it box. We'd do a few packs. It'd probably be a little bit more moderate. I'd say early 2000s.
Okay.
I know it's not, but either way, I'm going to bring it. I think we'll have a good time.
It's going to be a great time.
Doing it for 20 years.
Yep.
I could do a lot with that.
Very nice. Can't wait to see you, man.
Looking forward to it, man. You listen, Hot Stove Baseball. I called you guys probably like 6-7 months ago in regards to this, and I think we're just kind of seeing it. Now, we're talking mainly Bellinger here in New York, but when you look at the overall pool of players, it's just not very fruitful, and it goes back to what I said 6 months ago. These teams have been locking up these younger players. Less and less are getting into free agency. Like, whether it's Bellinger or not, we have all come to the realization, Mets and Yankees, that it's very likely they're going to go into the season with a lot of young players. That comes with a lot of risk and a lot of unknown.
Yep.
But it just seems like that seems to be the tenor of what all teams are doing. Like you said, it's been a very slow hot stove. You've seen a few guys here and there. And I just think, it's an overarching thing of what, the baseball has become and what, the teams, like you said, need to shift their focus. Like, I think just signing guys for big money in free agency, I think is a lost art or a lost way of doing business.
And to an extent. And by the way, I will see you the 22nd. Thanks for the call. Can't wait. Bring the cards. I'll beat you. I'm going to put you down, Ant. I'm going to put you down. Thanks, dude.
All right.
All right, man. I'll see you next month in January. The Jays aren't relying on too many young players, and they're trying to get Tucker. And we know the Dodgers aren't. So the two teams that were in the World Series are not necessarily relying on young players. Now, the Yankees are. I feel like, I know Ben Rice is not going to be a good hitter. He is a good hitter. I know even if he doesn't improve a tick, which I think he will because he's still fairly young, I know that Austin Wells has value. 20 home runs, plus lefty, frames it well, good defensive catcher. I wish he was a bit of a better all-around hitter, but I say that because he's not going to come and hit 190 and, 6 home runs where the Yanks are like, oh, maybe we got to send him to the minors. Like, that's really rolling the dice on a young kid. Austin Wells is a big league catcher, period. Ben Rice, big league hitter, period. Let's go. Volpe's obviously hurt. Caballero's been around a little bit. McMahon's a vet. Left field, obviously. Dominguez. See, Dominguez to me is interesting. And Sal and I would go back and forth on Dominguez all the time. And I really, to be honest, I couldn't push back. I wanted to. I just didn't have the ammunition to do it. And I'm not going to make up stuff just to have a radio debate. Like, I've got to root it in what I truly believe. And when you're the number one prospect and when you're touted as, a phenom with a nickname, which I never use, then you better be a whole hell of a lot better than you looked certainly most of last season. But when you look at Dominguez's season, in total, he hit almost 260, okay? Imagine if Volpe hit 260 his rookie year instead of 209. 260, with an OPS of 720, and Volpe's, I don't know why I keep comparing to Volpe, but Volpe's OPS was 6-something, and, I did think he would have more power, but he stole 23 bases. Dominguez did. So, and his on-base was 330, which is not good, but contrast that, it's okay. It's not good, like 350, 340's good, 350's really good. Beyond that, you're terrific. 330's fine. I could work with that. But he's a butcher in the outfield, or at least he was. He didn't play that often against lefties, so I don't know if he could ever swing the stick righty. Like, I can't get on top of the mountain and beat my chest for Dominguez. I just couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. It didn't make sense. But at least I know that he's not a stiff. Is it going to be more than what we saw a year ago? I think so, but I got to see it. I have no idea what Jones is going to do. He's intoxicating with his power and his arm and his size and his speed ratio. Strikes out twice a game in the minors. That's not good. So, yeah, the Yankees are relying on some young players, but with the exception of if Jones even makes the team or isn't dealt, and I think he might be or he could be, really Dominguez is the one where you're like, who is he and what is he? Because you're really not leaning on arms at the top of the rotation. Well, Schlittler, but he's different. Like McLean for the Mets, Schlittler's different. You got Fried. Eventually you'll have Cole. Eventually you'll have Rodon back. You got Warren, who's young, but not a rookie. So you've got good arms. You got Yarborough, who's fine if you get some offensive support. The Mets' young players, I don't really feel like they're leaning on too many unknowns either. Well, but more than the Yankees. I don't know what Alvarez is. I don't know. Now, you want to criticize Dominguez. Look at him. He just gets hurt. And he was their crown jewel, like Dominguez was for the Yankees. Who else? I like Beatty. You know that. I'm not feeling Mauricio. That's just me. You know, we know who Vientos is at this point. He's slow. He's got a good arm. He's an awful fielder. He's got power. He's inconsistent. So you can't fully rely on him. But, I mean, at bare minimum, you could say, all right, if he's not traded, to start the year, he's going to get 250 at-bats against lefties from the right side, probably mesh. And if he earns more time, he earns more time. But, yeah, our teams are relying on some young players. There's no question. Let me get Mike and Dayport on the fan with BT. What's happening, Mikey? Mike, you there?
Oh, I'm on. What an honor to speak to you. I just want to say that I was listening to you today. I never call in. I'm piggybacking on everybody else. I'm a 62-year-old retired guy, and just listening to you, it's just a joy. So I just want to thank you for that. You and Sal, I want to thank you for that. But my point is, just if you give me a second to talk about St. John's for a minute.
Hey, Johnny, let's go.
You're the only guy that talks about St. John's. Yeah, it's you and Sal. You just talk New York sports, and that's why I love you guys. But just talk about St. John's for a minute. You're spot on. It's like talking to my buddies. It's like the text messages we do after every game, like last night against DePaul. It's just you're spot on. Patino's got to get him. He's got to get him over the hump. They're right there, but they got to learn to win.
They do. I mean, Well, I think that you're right. Patino knows how to win. Zuby knows how to win, but they don't know how to win together yet because the chances they've had to really beat these good teams. You know, Iowa State's really good. You beat Baylor. They're whatever, and we should have won the Auburn game. Now can you beat Kentucky? Like, that would be nice. I hear you. Learning to win as a group and a new group is not going to happen overnight. It's just not. You know that, Mike.
It's just the little things they got to do, the little turnover at the end.
Yeah.
The little hit the layup with 2 minutes left, not let it roll off the rim. Those are the things that'll get him over the hump. I appreciate you talking about St. John's. Nobody does it. I've been a fan since the 70s. Real quick story, because you might like it.
Yeah.
Because I listened to you this morning. You were talking about the kids. You got me talking about the kids and the sports and the travel sports. Gone in a blink. I'm 62. It's gone in a blink. I'd give anything to do it just for one more day. I'd give anything to do it. But
Mike, please, I'm already depressed enough, Mike. Come on.
No, don't be depressed.
No, just teasing.
Don't be depressed.
No, I'm teasing.
Don't be depressed because, like I said, I never call and you got me. But so anyway, Frank Elijah. You remember Frank Elijah?
I know the name. I was born in the 70s. I never saw him play.
I know. You know the name, but his mother was my school nurse.
Okay.
This is a true story.
Go ahead.
One day I was in fourth grade. I was sick, the whole 9 yards. She starts telling me the story. A couple of days later, he shows up at my school, the elementary school, with Beaver Smith, and I get a call from the nurse to come to the nurse. She snuck me into the gym to shoot baskets.
Wow.
With Frank Elijah and Beaver Smith, and I will never forget that.
That's awesome.
I think you're the only one. You're the only one that would appreciate the story. So I just want to thank you for the time, and I really enjoyed you guys listening to you guys. And it's awful what they're doing. I mean, you're not going to say it. No. You're not going to say it, but I just wish you guys were still there because you made it for all these retired guys that listen in the afternoon because, you give us something to do, and it's like talking to our buddies.
I got you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. And by the way, I saw a lot of St. John's fans last night. I love it. Talking about different things, Yanks and Mets, and I'll see you at the Garden. Again, we're not dead. We didn't die. Just going to do different stuff. I remember talking to about St. John's. There's two things, like the power. I'll probably get into a little bit more of this stuff on Friday, but the power of radio, like the allure of the spoken word for me it was like a magnet. It was just, it was gripping. And I remember two things that jump out. I was coming back from a CYO game with my dad. I think we had played at St. Mark's that night. Probably won by 15. We were pretty good. Oh, my dad would snap on me sometimes. Oh, my God. And he was a really good coach. And we're at the McDonald's drive-thru. And we are listening to the end of the 86 championship, Big East championship. I don't even know was it on 1050? I don't even know what station St. John's was on then, because the Fan wasn't even born. This is a year before FAN. And we hear Ron Rowan in the car hit the baseline jump shot, about 15 feet. And then Pearl, who was amazing, Pearl Washington. I think Pearl was the first true superstar of the conference. Ewing was better. Mullen was better. Pearl was the show. So he brought those cameras with him and really made the Biggies viable financially. Anyway, Rowan hits the jump shot. Boom. Johnny's up. He gets the ball. One thing about Walter Berry, he didn't run too hard in transition defense. He busted his ass. Pearl had a step on him, and he rejected him basically at the buzzer. And Pearl's not missing that shot. Johnny's would have lost at the gun. And they won the Big East championship that year, right? That's one thing. And I remember just sitting in the car, hearing that on the radio. And then another one, I'm sure I was coming back from some type of practice the year before. I was in, trust me, my mom cooked a lot. You're hearing these fast food stores. I'm in the Burger King parking lot on Flatbush Avenue. God, what was that old amusement park? Not Nellie Bly. That's off the belt. Adventureland, whatever it was. Somebody's going to text me, one of my buddies that I grew up with or whatever. That little tiny amusement park, and there was a Burger King next to it. And we were in the parking lot, and I actually heard the Knicks draft Kenny Skywalker. And again, it wasn't on the Fan. And it wasn't like, hey, let's send it out to so-and-so at the Felt Forum covering the NBA draft. The Knicks just chose Kenny. They actually piped it in with the 5th overall selection. And I remember hearing that. So listen, when you guys say, hey, listen, I'm going to miss you guys. I love the show and all that stuff. Like, just, I was a listener first. I really was. And I love it. And I love radio. And it's not going to stop. And I cherish our relationship. You guys are the best audience in the world. It's awesome. On the best sports station in the world. Hey, what's up, Dove? You got something?
Yeah, well, Hoff's not here to do this, so I'll give it to you.
What?
Mets signing.
Yeah, okay, hold on a second. Let me prepare myself. If it's not Bellinger. Although I did tell you the report, Feinstein, the other guy. First answer me yes. I'm going to say that it's not Bellinger. Is it Bellinger?
It's an ex-Yankee.
It's an ex-Yankee. All right, it's going to be an ex-Yankee scrub. They wouldn't have brought back Severino, who was actually pretty good for him. Ex-Yankee. Oh, that's a tricky one. It's a low level.
You didn't want him back. He was good for a time. You didn't want him back.
I don't know. Who?
Luke Weaver, 2-year deal.
Okay. I mean, not terrible. Boy, they got another Yankee scrap. Man, it's getting a little embarrassing at this point. Come on. I mean, just, update the resume, be a little original. I did not want him back. No, I did not want Luke Weaver anywhere near a meaningful high-leverage spot for the Yankees.
Pretty near the Bronx.
Yeah, I know. What's the terms? 2 years what?
Didn't see the terms.
You didn't see the amount of money? Yeah,
2 years, 32 million.
I'm sorry, 32? All right, so you got 16 a year. I was close. I said 230. Yeah, I mean, when he's on, he's good. He's not on all the time. And I remember seeing something fairly recently where, and I feel like this, everybody said, oh, so-and-so was getting a hit. Now he's tipping pitches. I think that's the excuse now. You get lit up. You kind of showcasing what was coming. They knew it was coming. And I've actually seen was it John Boy, some video where and you can tell, I will say this, forget about Luke Weaver for a second. You can tell if a hitter knows what's coming by how they take an off-speed pitch. You could just tell. Like, if there is no give at all, even just an inch, then they know. And the inability to put guys away, foul balls, and then obviously squaring balls up on the barrel, yeah, there is something to it that pitchers do get in that rut, and you can kind of see what's coming. And if you know what's coming at that level, you're gonna do some damage. I don't know if I can buy into that enough for Weaver. Fine, take him. I didn't want him. You want to put him in the 7th inning? All right, start there. Maybe the 6th. I mean, so the Mets are inching toward a roster. Yeah, Luke Weaver, whatever. 888-808-1019. BT on the Fan.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
For the end zone.
The Rams Yankees and Seahawks clash for first place in the NFC West. Home field advantage and the number 1 seed in the playoffs. 8:15 tomorrow night on AM 660. Touchdown! Thursday night football on the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey apps.
FanDuel is the number 1 sportsbook for same-game parlays, from points and rebounds to threes and assists. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/GO. That's GIO to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/GO. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN, 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Target's last-minute deals are here, right on time to get you holiday ready in no time. Snap beauty gift sets for every style, the hottest toys, can't miss entertainment, crowd-pleasing candy, and much more. All under $20. Whether you're hosting or welcoming surprise guests, you'll be ready for all of it for less. Grab them now before they're gone. Last-minute deals under $20. Happening now, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
And we're out. Back in 60.
Hey, what are you eating? Chimichurri filet mignon. It's a Factor meal.
Oh, nice. Wait, they let you eat like that in the pros?
Oh, they insist on it. A pro's work starts on the plate.
Oh, man, that does look good. Let me have a taste?
Get your own.
All right. Where do I find this? Is it factormeals.com?
Yep, and they've got a deal going on.
Oh, love a deal. I am so in.
Smart move. Pro move.
All right. Factor. Eat like a pro.
Warm up your winter at DreamWorks Water Park inside American Dream. Over 40 rides, record-breaking slides, and the all-new Gabby's Dollhouse splash pad for the littlest swimmers. Just minutes from Manhattan. Tickets start at $59. Book now at AmericanDream.com.
The fight against lymphoma, leukemia, and myeloma calls for the experience and skill of world-renowned experts. As New Jersey's only nationally ranked cancer program by U.S. News and World Report, John Thurr Cancer Center at Hackensack and Jersey Shore University Medical Centers offer innovative treatments close to home. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, and I lead the stem cell transplantation and cellular therapy teams in Hackensack and Neptune. We're proud to be pioneers in our field and the most experienced team in the region, having performed over 8,000 stem cell transplants. We were the first accredited center in New Jersey to offer CAR T-cell therapy, a revolutionary treatment that harnesses the power of your own immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells. This is more than advanced care. It's personalized, life-saving treatment from distinguished experts at New Jersey's best cancer program. Call 833-CANCER-MD to schedule an appointment. That's 833-CANCER-MD.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
It's 2 of the best in men's college basketball. NCAA tournament finalist Houston faces perennial power Arkansas in the 8th edition of the Never Forget Tribute Classic. Saturday, December 20th at Prudential Center. Tickets are on sale now. The Cougars and the Razorbacks bring big-time basketball to the Garden State with dynamic recruiting classes and legendary coaches. It's Houston versus Arkansas in the Never Forget Tribute Classic. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
All right, attention schmooze lovers. What's happening, a little schmoozeroo? Looking for a great stocking stuffer? Schmooze has you covered here. Call the number 10-866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326. Your chance to win an autographed copy of Steve Summers' book, Me Here, You There. Courtesy of the schmooze himself, Steve Summers. Boy, is that a unique human being, the schmooze man. Every time I see him, and I think I see him once a week, because he's probably recording the podcast here, right? He's always in black. Always in black. Was he always like that?
Not the very beginning, but for decades he has been.
What is with the transformation? Like, what was the impetus?
It became a personality. That's his identity. Now he wears all black.
So he thinks he's a gangster?
I don't know what
wear
he
a black, something that you would wear in, I don't know, something Pacino would wear 30 years ago. It's actually a great jacket, like the black leather jacket. An interesting persona. What a great guy, though. Such a pure sweetheart. Every time you see it, and I got to tell you, he says it, so I'll take it, and I don't take it with a grain of salt, but I'll accept it. But then I hear him saying it to other people. Not everybody, but I'm like, Dove, I need your help here. I'm like, all right, is he just saying this to be nice, or is he just...
You want me to out him?
Well, yeah, because you used to drive him home every day after the show, right, when he worked with my guy Russ? All right. So he will say, oh, you're such a talented young man. This is before he even heard the news, like, oh, you're so good at what you do. I remember he would say this when I was doing the national stuff. And he would say, I don't know why you're not on the Fan. You know, you have a perfect disposition to talk to the fans, New York sports. And, like, he'd go on. And it meant a lot because he's a legend. But then I hear him talk great about Sal, and which is justified because Sal's incredibly talented. And about other people, I'm like, is he just laying it on thick? Is this what he does? Or does he actually mean it? I don't know. I don't think he means it to me.
I think he means it, but he'll say that to people when he's talking to them.
To everybody?
Maybe.
Well, okay, hold on. You just contradicted yourself. You can't, if you say it to pretty much everybody, you can't think everybody's so talented. That's just not the way the world goes, because not everybody's talented. So, it seems like he's kind of just laying it on.
As he's saying it, he really believes it.
Which, by the way, I will take that every single time over somebody who just puts their head down and ignores you. Like the time or two that I bumped into Imus when I was an intern, and I was terrified. Everyone's like, oh, don't look at Imus. Don't look at Imus. At first, I was scared. I'm like, why? Why not? He's a human. No, don't make eye contact. Get out of here. Whatever. And then I'm like, yeah, this guy's definitely, he's a little bit of a different cat. I'm going to keep moving. So I'd rather, the approach that Steve, even if he lays it on thick, it is all good. He is a really sincere sweetheart. You know him well, and you know that he is for sure. Yep. So the book signing's coming up, and we'll see who won. Hopefully you go out there, have a good time with Steve. All right, let's get back to the calls. 888-808-1019. Oh, yeah, by the way, Luke Weaver. Let's, you know what? I'd like to hear Schmoozy get out the paper and write about that to start a show. The Yankee cast-offs, Pete's gone. That would be a pretty interesting open. But he's been around forever. I mean, Weaver. And, again, Soto's one thing, obviously. But now you're begging. Now you're just taking scraps, and now it just looks weak. It really does. And I know that, this has to bother Met fans a little bit. Like, early on, and again, Soto, totally different territory. But the other ones, some of the other early ones, you're like, all right, Severino, I could send. By the way, he was pretty good for you. Then the A's gave him, 3 years, whatever it was, and the Mets let him go. So some of the early decisions were fine. But now it's getting out of hand. Do they travel? I mean, is every move done with, you have to play within a 9-mile radius of Citi Field to get scouted, to have a chance to sign with the Mets? I mean, Luke Weaver was a good story when he ascended to the role that he ascended to in 2024, pitching big games in the playoffs there. And I loved him. And I like his fire. And he's got the sack meter is high with him. I think he's overachieved. I think his his sheer will's gotten him to this point. Because I don't know if he's got amazing stuff. But when you're around 10 years and you've been on 6 teams and your ERA is 4.74 and your whip is over 1.3 and you're coming off a disaster with the Yankees and you get $32 million over 2 years? Stearns, what are you doing? Ugh. Chris is in Lindenhurst. Chris on the Fan. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Good, Chris. What's happening?
I want to wish you a happy holidays, you and your family. I want to wish Sal a happy holidays to him and his family, and thank you for the last couple of years of getting so many of the millions and millions of people around the tri-state area through their work day. It's been an absolute blessing to listen to you, and we will be following you wherever you go. God bless.
Listen, we appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sincerely, Chris. The one thing that I have a little regret, I'm not going to be able to come on the air Monday and tell everybody how Sal's corduroy suit flies at A-Rod's party Saturday night. I might have to put a little video out there.
I'm sure it's going to be epic. And from someone who watched you guys on YouTube every day, there was absolutely nothing like when Sal would get upset and his eyes would get as big as a cartoon character. Just you can't make this stuff up.
I trust me. Every day I saw it. I know.
I'm Evan's friend, the guy with the Twitter baseball stats. If you remember me from a couple months ago.
Absolutely. Yep.
I just want to thank you also for finally someone saying something positive, semi-positive, about Jason Dominguez. I've been trying to call over and over and over. Look, 23-year-old outfielders who are 5-tool players don't exactly grow on trees. I know you wanted him to have a little more power. He never got really consistent playing time. He was always in the lineup for 2 games, out for a game, in for a game, out for 2. It's hard to get on a roll. The kid is a switch hitting. He hustles like nobody else on the team. I really wanted to see him in center field this year. I know we re-signed Grisham. That's kind of an albatross. If he's going to stay there the whole year, they're going to trade him. I don't know. But I assume the plan going forward is when Grisham leaves, Dominguez will take over center field, and then you could look at, if Bellinger doesn't come back, you could look at Jones for left field. But as you said, I agree. He is a strikeout machine. He's Rob Deere on crack. So I'm very
Rob Deere.
I'm very weary.
Yeah,
I'm very weary about him. Last thing I'll leave you with, since it's a hot topic.
Yeah.
All right, how many former Yankees are now going to Queens? Is Wade Taylor, Jeff Johnson, and Scott Kamenicki going to be signed by the Mets now?
Hey, how about Sam Militello? How about Sam Militello? Take him.
Militello.
Oh, my God. Chris, thank you for the call, miss. Yeah, it's getting a little bit out of hand now. I mean, it really is. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just trying to give you my most honest, as I always do with all this stuff, my honest assessment of a young baseball player. Back to the Dominguez thing. Now, because we've heard of him since he was 16. He's been in the pipeline since he was that young. Because he's got the nickname, number 1 prospect, 5-tool, modern Mickey Mantle. Like, you're never going to outrun the hype, man. When you have that hype here, unless you are the chosen one, you're just never going to outrun it. It's just not going to work. You're going to always fall a little short, right? So he's probably destined to be viewed as a bit of a bust no matter what. I mean, even think about this, guys. Even if he hit 20 home runs last year and hit 277 with an OPS of 775 and instead of stealing 20, he stole 26 bases, like, you would still view him as a bit of a disappointment because of what we thought he would be. So that definitely distorts how I view him as a player. I admit it. But as I push that aside, I see somebody who's got some value. Now, I'm a little disappointed that the Yankees don't give him any runway in terms of, seeing if he can hit from the right side. If that's the case, just scrap it and just hit lefty all the time and try to be a great lefty hitter instead of a competent one. And, you look at the middle of his season, May, June, July. So he had, 70 at-bats, 140, then another 80 or so. All right, so you're talking about, basically 200 change at-bats there, 260 for a 3-month span. He hit 275 with an OPS 730. And he was pretty much, higher than that. I'm sorry, because in May his OPS was 854. And in July his OPS was 766. Now, again, I'm bombarding you with numbers, whatever. But if you watched him during the middle of the season, you knew that there was an uptick and he was stealing bases and he was confident and he looked highly viable. And certainly in the batter's box and definitely on the bases. I don't know what the plan is. If you ask me right now, All right, the Yankees going to make a move. Not that I think they're going to trade for Peralta, but I'm just some trade, right? And we have, meaning me or you, have the choice of giving up Jones or Dominguez. I'm giving up Jones. He's older. He's 25. Strikes out all the time. And I've seen this story. I know he can run too, and he's good. He's a better center fielder than Dominguez. But I've already seen Dominguez at least look competent on a major league field in the batter's box. Whereas Jones, yeah, a lot of home runs, a lot of whiffs. And when you're striking out twice a game against kids in the minors, well, generally that does not portend good things against the best pitchers in the world. It just doesn't. 888-808-1019. What do I have here? Dovey, any reads? Nothing? Okay. So was it 12:39, 12:40? I mean, we break. At this point, we break when we want. You know. Do I have to break? I guess I have to. Do I have to? You tell me.
Well, do you need a break?
No, I don't. Do we have commercials to get in?
You have commercials, yes.
All right, let's pay the bills. Let's take care of that. I'll come back. I'll get the calls. Got you till 2. Then it's Evan and Tiki on the Fan.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 101.9 FM.
Joe Shane's story has been written as the Giants GM. I would be shocked if he still stayed here. He's probably loving the fact that Abdul Carter had a game like this. But man, was that good to see from a Giants perspective. I mean, this guy really looked like a football player for the first time all year.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Old Trapper, what's your beef? Jerry Jones is sending a message to his defensive coordinator. After the Cowboys let Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy carve them up, Jones publicly questioned the pressure, the scheme, and the results. Dallas is near the bottom of the league in defense, and opposing quarterbacks keep having their best days against them. With 3 games left, Matt Eberflus is clearly coaching for his job. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
This winter, move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5, the smart choice for those who expect more. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety features, the CX-5 delivers confidence and control in every condition. Inside, you'll find a redefined high-quality interior designed for comfort and connection, because there's more to a Mazda. Celebrate the season during the More to Move You winter sales event. Lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month and make every drive feel like a gift. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey iHeart.
Listen to music a lot?
A little bit, not a lot.
I don't know that I can really function without music. Like, even in college, right, I would write, like when I would have a real in-depth, thorough writing assignment, which I always enjoyed. I still love to write. I would basically sit down with, and I would have 3 CDs that I would listen to if I knew I was going to be there for a couple of hours, right? And that's when the typewriter, obviously I wasn't using a typewriter, but it had just kind of transitioned to, remember I think it was the Brother, like word
word processor.
Yes, it was like it had like a little digital, kind of looked like a typewriter.
You were able to go back to correct it before you hit.
Yes. And I would just hammer away on that for hours, and I would throw on either The Wall or of course Billy Greatest Hits or even Cat Stevens Greatest Hits. And I would sit. I love some of those songs. I would sit there and I would write. Like even as soon as I get in the car. Of course, I put the fan. I'm not just saying that. I mean, why would I say that now? I do get in the car and I put the fan on. Like I'm kind of programmed to do that. I'll check out the other stations, see if we're missing anything. But I am music. Like I can't be in the car without music. I can't.
So you reference Floyd and The Wall a lot.
Yeah.
Did you go back to their earlier history at all?
No.
Adam Hart, Mother.
No. Look
Animals.
No.
Wish You Were Here.
No. That's why when I say I like Floyd, I love The Wall. Like I could sing every song, not that I would, on The Wall. Dark Side of the Moon, I obviously like a couple of the main ones, but it's really more The Wall, really.
So Dark Side had the biggest following besides The Wall.
Yes.
But the other ones musically were much better. If you want to, have by your fire pit.
Oh.
Listen to me. Adam Hart, Mother, put that album on. Animals.
Yeah.
Wish You Were Here, those 3.
Wow, that is good Gumby music. I'm okay. That's good Gumby, let's face it.
Yeah.
I mean, Pink Floyd's about as good a Gumby music as you could possibly ask for, Dove.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get around to it.
And I'll give you one more, not from Floyd.
Yeah.
But we played Dire Straits before, Money for Nothing.
Oh, yeah, I love Dire Straits, yeah.
Their second album was great, but not commercially successful. There were no real hits. Communique. Put that on by the fire pit with a little scotch.
Look at this guy. Who is this guy that I'm talking to? I think I'm talking to myself. Dove has come out of his shell. Took a while.
Now it doesn't matter. So
yeah, exactly. Everything's changing. Everything's getting better. Me and Sal hit, top speed. Get lost. Me and Dovey. Dovey comes out of his shell. Doesn't matter. Get lost. All right, let's get back to the calls. Let me get Dean in Jersey City. What's going on, Dean? How are you?
Hey, Brandon, long-time listener, first-time caller. Actually been listening to the station since I was in the Persian Gulf in 1990.
Hey, God bless you. Thank you for doing that. Wow.
Sure.
Awesome.
Thanks. So I'm 57 from Long Island.
Yep.
So similar sports experiences as you. Although my football experience with the Giants has been a little bit different. But otherwise, Knicks, Yankees, Rangers. I've got two little baseball things that I always meant to call you guys and talk about, but expected you to be around longer. You take things for granted sometimes. So one, was it ever discussed when we were talking about Weaver that, Mariano and Wetland actually switched places way back in the 90s? I just don't know if it ever came up on the radio.
Well, what do you mean? So when the Yankees won at 96, obviously Wetland was the closer. What do you mean? So...
Well, eventually he set up Mariano, didn't at a certain point, right?
When did he leave? Let's see. He came over
from
Texas?
After that year, it was Mariano set up for Wetland in 96.
In 96.
And then he was gone.
And then it was gone.
Correct.
And then it was old. No, then it was old Mariano. Mariano, I should say Wetland never set up for Mariano.
Oh, he didn't? Okay,
no, then you had Nelson, Stanton, Mendoza.
Well, it's my age then,
That's all right. That's all right.
Now, another thing, this is one of those geek numbers. It's bothered me for years when people talk about games over 500. Now, if you have 20 games, 500 is 10-10.
Yep.
Right? If you're 12-8, people routinely say you're 4 games
you're 3
over 500. You're 2. 10-10. Right?
No, you said if you're I think you said if you're 13 or 14.
No, 12-8. If you're 12-8.
I told you it wasn't good math. What are you doing to me here? Now, 12-8. Yes, Dean.
You'd be 2 games over 500. But for all these years, they talk about 500 as if it's just your games, your wins between wins and losses, your difference.
No, I got you. I'm messing around. I hear you.
Yeah, no, it's an odd number. That's all.
It seems like it rankles you all these years.
8 and 8 is 500.
Yeah, hold on. Don't take over. Step in.
If 8 and 8 is 500, correct?
10-10. 20 games.
Okay, 10-10 is 500. Then 14-10 is 4 games better. If 4 games over 500.
Well, yeah, but you can't be 14-10 in 20 games.
I understand.
Well, it's the sheer number of that's less important than the amount of games you are literally over 500. I'm getting a little confused here.
Yeah, you are.
But no, you're getting confused.
Well, in 20 games, 10-10 is 500.
Oh man.
Anyway,
I
no
hear
worries.
You, Dean.
On a more sensitive
note, Dean.
Last Friday touched my heart as well as when Sal brought up that issue with his daughter, and I just wanted him to know that there's a lot of us out there. We only found out that our older son was diagnosed on the spectrum when he was 12, and we had to put up with years of not understanding and the stress that Sal went through. Thank God he found out early. But to watch your son, as you know, be bullied and stuff because he's not doing things the way everybody else is doing it is hard. So, there's others out there, and maybe the platform you guys have been able to gain, maybe it can be used for this cause, and I'd be standing behind you guys if Sal and you want to be a mouthpiece for autism. I'm sure you'd help because there's so many kids out there. The spectrum is broad and they're being diagnosed all over the place and not being treated well, unfortunately.
That's real life stuff, Dean. Thanks for being that transparent, and thanks for making the call, and thanks for confusing me with the numbers. But
I would be at the show. I would be at the live show, but it's my little guy's 10th birthday, so otherwise I'd be there.
I understand. Happy holidays. God bless you, bro. Enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to just say this without the ability to do it, but I would certainly be open to creating some sort of a charitable angle connected to the BT and Sal live show for autism. I would. I mean, that's something I'll talk to Sal about and my people with the stuff. Of course. I remember, when did I say it to Sal? I don't really remember. I don't think he would mind me saying this because it's a good thing. It's not about, it's about him. I would, if I had to guess, maybe, let's say we did 2 years together. I would say maybe a year into it. Like we just started getting closer and talking about real life stuff, including his daughter and, stuff that I deal with and everything. We all have stuff, right? And I remember saying to him one point, as off the air, I said, this is the side that you got to let people see just a little bit more. I said, because you're such a likable dude. You're like, and I get the combativeness, which I love, and I'm like that too. I'm like, just show this a little bit, Because I think people would want to love you and not just battle you on the radio, but would want to love you. And, in an ironic, probably unplanned twist of fate, and I know many of you loved him before that, but he felt that love on Friday when he was vulnerable and when he opened up. And that was poignant stuff. I'm happy he felt that. Let me get Jimmy in St. James. What's happening, Jim?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Yesterday you were talking about Volpe's arm strength, right? Yep. So I got information on it. He throws 82 miles an hour on an average, and you can compare that to Ellie De La Cruz, who throws 92.6.
There's no way he's throwing the ball 80. I could throw the ball 80, 70. There's no way he's throwing 82. There's no chance.
82. It's more. Well, that's what the numbers say.
Well, where'd you get that from? Enlighten me. Honestly, because I love the numbers. I never saw that.
I got it from a scout I know that has access to the information.
All right, hold on a second. Yeah. No, go ahead. Finish up. I'm sorry. Finish up.
Yeah. No, that's fine. And so because I called him when I heard you talking, I gave him a call, and he goes, "All right, let me see if I can find it." And he looked it up. He goes, he's average 82 and 92.6 for Ellie De La Cruz, and he said Volpe's. He goes, it's not his arm strength, it's his accuracy. You can see he makes a lot of wild throws. So you know.
Well, I mean, listen, I think the accuracy took a ridiculous turn for the worse this season here. No, but he doesn't have a strong arm. I'm calling nonsense on that. I'm going to get my own answer. Again, I appreciate the call, the numbers, whatever the scout. I don't know. This scout might want to check his radar gun because there's no way that's going to be accurate. Hold on. Let me just log into. All right. So I am on the Perfect Game profile. Many of you know Perfect Game. It's the absolute best amateur baseball organization in terms of competitiveness. It's phenomenal. I mean, you want to see real players, you go play Perfect Game. So the cool thing about this, and it starts really young. Like my son plays here. And what I did, that's why I'm able to sign in. That's the only reason I have the account. So, I could go, and I have done this many times. I even did it with Lindor, Pete. In the search bar, I'll type in a player's name. And I think PG's only been around 10 years, something like that. Maybe a little more, but probably about a good 10. And then I'll just look at these players and see where they were when they were 12. It's fascinating, 15. And I've done Volpe many times, so let me pop him up. Anthony Volpe, here it is, 2018 All-American Classic player, 25th rated player overall in the country, the 7th best shortstop prospect in the country, New Jersey, 2nd overall, number 1 shortstop, 5'11", 180. At the time of the draft, he was 18 years old, 1 month. Del Barton High School, bats right, okay. Commits to Vanderbilt, perfect grade 10. I'm saying this because they have numbers on my son. They tell you how hard you throw the ball because they measure it. And here it is, and I'm right. So his infield velocity in 2018 as a high school player was 87 miles an hour. There is no way a major league shortstop's throwing the baseball 82 miles an hour across the diamond. It's not happening. It's just not. It's like a pitcher throwing 79 miles an hour. It's just there's like a certain benchmark where if you're not at it, you can't play. Now, I'm not saying that there can't be a fluctuation, and he's definitely not like De La Cruz. I mean, some of these guys, he's one of the lower arm strengths in baseball. But, I mean, to say that he's 82 is just factually incorrect when he was at 87 at the age of 17, 18 years old. Now, say if you're 88, 89, 90, and, your arm's a little sore, well, okay, sure. You might lose 3 ticks across the diamond. You kind of babied over there. But, no, I knew 82 was not. And I'm not trying to be a jerk to the last caller, but trust me, I know my numbers. There's no way he was throwing 82. John's in Bayonne. What's going on, John? How are you today?
BT, I got to say this. BT.
Yes.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to miss you because you were the most respectable guy for St. John's. And I was a big St. John's fan back in the day with Lou Carseca and stuff like that. And the memories you're bringing up and how they won and when they played Georgetown and Thompson and all. And I met Rick Pitino 2 times. I met him with the dinner with him, Calipari, Joe Talp for the Mets and the Devils, and John McLean were doing a consultant job to putting into a place near the Meadowlands for John McLean.
Nice.
And we had dinner with them during the Final Four, Calipari and Patino. Then I'm out in Vegas, and I'm out there golfing at the TPC, Sutherland.
I played there.
And then there's nobody on the course, so my friend was a member there. So he introduced me to the locker guy. He said, "This is John Patino." He said, "Okay," boom. Takes my stuff, puts it in a locker, I said, "Okay." I go out on the course. Nobody out there. Nobody. There was no front, back, whatever. I open up the locker, and there's a duffel bag. And it's got the Fighting Irish on it. I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
And he said to the guy, "Whoa, what's this bag for?" He goes, "Oh, you're Rick Pitino, right?" I said, No, I'm John Pitino." I said, "Why? He's out here?" He said, "Yeah, he's out here golfing. I think he was going for the UNLV job."
Wow. What year is this? What year?
It's got to be the 80s.
Oh, wow. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it was something else. And when it came down to it, it was crazy to say 80s and 90s. It came down to it, though. I should open up the bag. It might have been a bag full of money.
Yeah. That's what. Maybe it's a mob drop. Who knows what? No, I don't mean, the mob for Rick, but I mean, I would open the bag. How do you not? See what's in there. Take something.
But that's what I'm going to meet you. Because you're a Yankee fan. Sal was a little edgy with his Soto. They used to burn me up. Soto. Man, DC, you were a class act, man. You were fantastic. You were Tiki. And I hope you hook on back up here somewhere. We can always chat. I always enjoyed myself chatting with you. Never gave me an argument. Always is agreeable. Always give me your opinion fairly. Not, getting mad and saying, "Oh," because Sal used to get mad at me with Soto. I used to call him.
Man. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Listen, have a happy holiday, you and your family.
Yep.
You're going to be successful because of your talent. And
Thanks,
I just, like I say to you, I wish you could have stayed on because you're definitely a joy to talk to.
I appreciate it. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Very kind words. Thanks, pal. Thank you, man. 888-808-1019. Got an hour to go. Here. I'm off tomorrow, Friday. I'll wrap it up. And I want to just keep banging the phones. I want to talk to you guys. I want to enjoy it. There's some good stuff, whether it's the Knicks stuff, whether it's now the Mets taking another Yankee. Hey, you could keep Luke Weaver. I wanted Soto. You could take him. Weaver. I mean, a few other guys you could take, too, while you're at it, if Stearns is going to keep this up. So we'll get back to those calls. Let's get the update. Bogus just coming at you.
Get breaking sports news here. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com, and by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Yes, the Mets have gone back to the well known as the Yankee bullpen. David Stearns reportedly adding Luke Weaver shortly after adding Devin Williams, with Clay Holmes already on board for a year. Weaver is said to be getting a 2-year deal worth $22 million. He'll turn 33 next August. He finished a disappointing season with a 3.62 ERA. That does not include the 5 runs he allowed while getting just 1 out across 3 postseason appearances. The Knicks have reportedly decided not to raise a banner for last night's NBA Cup victory, but apparently the Lakers did say no 2 years ago, and then the league intervened. Kayvon Thibodeau remains out of Giants practice with that shoulder injury. The Jets reportedly signing tight end Jeremy Rucker, 2 years, $10 million. The Dolphins expected to bench Tua Tagovailoa. It'll be Quinn Ewers, not former Jet Zach Wilson, starting instead. And the Devils skate in Vegas tonight at 10. Fan weather sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. It's 38 degrees, cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes come up every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Dart in a shotgun set. They bring pressure.
The Vikings are coming to MetLife to take on rookie sensation Jackson Dart and the Giants. 1 o'clock Sunday.
Dart throws it to his right for Robinson, who makes the catch in the end zone.
The home of the New York Giants is the Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the Odyssey app.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Every year, too many lives are lost in alcohol or drug-related crashes. These are preventable tragedies, and it's time to take a stand. Let's make New Jersey's roads safer for everyone. We are all counting on you.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied, it's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and cruise from $199 plus up to $250 onboard credit and kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
On the Fan. Of course, brought to you by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. 888-808-1019 is the number. Evan Tiki coming up next at 2. So obviously, a lot of Knicks, although we've kind of moved into some of the baseball stuff as well. Less about Luke Weaver, though you can certainly react to that. 2 years to the Mets. Have fun with that, Met fans. But more about the Bellinger stuff, where there's a lot of signals that the Mets are serious. And, hey, you could have Weaver, but, you can't have Bellinger. Like, how can't allow that to happen? Unless the Mets were to go to a 7th year, which I would say, you know what, take them. 8, that would be stupid. But if it's for the 6 years that is now basically the gist of most reports, you got to step up and you got to keep him in the Bronx. He already fits. And that would be embarrassing. So that's where we are. And let's get back to you guys. Coco in Manhattan on the Fan with BT. What's up, Coco? Coco.
Hey, BT.
Hey.
I'm not going to say I'm sad because I know, you will make it wherever you go. And because you're just great. And you and Sal are just great together. And you talk about the power of radio. Radio is really powerful. I've never met Dove, but when I heard you had that incident, I think it was a heart attack. So
yeah.
Bring it up.
Yeah.
And you felt better. I was just happy for the guy, and radio is really powerful. And so when Sal brought out that autism thing, and I listened to it because I have a niece, who was just a week apart. My daughter was born on October 30th, and my niece was born on November 7th. And they're the same age, and she can't talk. And I look at my sister sometimes, it just bothers the heck out of me.
Yep.
She can't even walk. And because it's just something that's more touchy. And to get back to the power of the radio, I was not a big fan of the morning show like Boom and Cotton. Boom and Gio. And one day Gio brought out this point that his wife called out the fire department, and that was a funny story. So I gave it a chance, started listening to them more, and no show is like your show. You're on Sal's show. No show is like it. The next thing to Mike and my dog. And I mean this. I'm nobody, I love the callers. Radio is really powerful. So I'm going to get back to my Mets point, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys give a lot of credit to David Stern, who has not done anything in his life. If you give me a minute, please. Milwaukee Brewers, what have they ever won? Sometimes you kill Brian, how you call it, the Yankees GM.
Sometimes. That's all I do.
Cashman won championship. But when people say Stern and the way he's behaving with Steve Cohen's money, this guy's not done anything in his life. right? The team that eliminated the Brewers was what? The Mets. And who hit that big home run? Peter Alonso.
Hold on, Coco. Hold on. I'm not going to hang up on you.
Hold
on. Let's have a little back and forth. So, all right, fair enough. You're not a big David Stearns fan. By the way, neither am I. I'm just trying to be fair because the first year was good. The second year was awful. Let's split the difference. Let's see what year 3 brings. But you also have to understand his run with the Brewers was a whole hell of a lot more successful than any recent 4 or 5 year run of the Mets.
BT, let me ask you a question. What is the ultimate goal? Win a championship. When is the last time the Brewers went to the NLCS?
I don't know. Never once. I don't know. I forget exactly.
That's my point. That's my only point. You get rid of the guy. BT, give me a second. I got another point. Go ahead. You get rid of the guy who, when he's flipping, could hit 30 home runs. I mean, what is wrong with this guy? I'm buying 2 Peter Alonso jerseys from the Orioles, by the way. And
no, you're not. No, you're not.
I am. No, I am.
I don't believe you.
Number 25, I'm buying it. Can I make this point real quick?
I don't believe you.
Charles, can I make this point, BT?
Yeah.
About the Jets, right? I know they got rid of the defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They should take a great look at the OC, too. I don't think this guy's, I don't think is it. And for Glenn, if he wants to stay as a head coach, he has to take a real close look at the OC too, because he might get fired if he doesn't. I don't think that guy is good at all.
Yeah. I don't. Coco, can I be told?
My last point,
you want co-host? I mean, Coco, I gotta be totally honest with you. Thank you for the call. I have no interest in talking about the Jets right now. I literally have zero. Now, what I will do on Friday, I said this at the top of the show, I had never heard the whole thing. I've heard snippets. I'm going to replay the unkillable speech as a way as I bounce. I'm going to play that at some point on Friday. Dove, what was Stearns' first year in Milwaukee in any capacity? Exactly.
He was hired in September 2015.
Okay, so he was brought there in 2015. Now, let's see. At that point, the Brewers were awful. 68 wins, 73 wins. Then they became a little bit more competitive. Now, I know that he wasn't in charge right away, but...
He was the GM right away.
Are you sure?
He replaced the retiring Doug Melvin.
He was the general manager when he was 29?
He became the youngest general manager in the history.
I know, but he was 20. I thought he was a little bit older. Okay. All right, my bad. I think he was
actually 30, but...
Wow.
That's...
Okay. So you say, well, what did he do in Milwaukee? Well, look at what he inherited. And then look, and by the way, this year's team went to the NLCS. Now they got swept, but how many fingerprints are on this Brewers team that won 97 games that were from David Stearns? Not all of them, because he left 2 years ago, but some of them. And then the year before that, 93 wins. And then the year before that, 92 wins. The year before that, rough year, 86 wins. Then 95. I mean, come on, guys. 96 wins in 2018. They lost the NLCS 4-3. They were a game away from the World Series with a moderate payroll. So I just don't think you're being fair. You could split the difference and say, I don't like this guy. I don't think he's operating well in a big market. I don't think the transition so far seems like he's a big market GM. I know Joe's been saying that, and others have said that, and that's fine. I respect that. And there's enough early signs to say that without sounding like a raving, unfair lunatic. But to not give the man credit for what he did in Milwaukee, while it's not putting pennants on in your stadium or banners in your stadium, he still did it in Major League Baseball. And what he's doing now, to the chagrin of some of you, because you're losing players that you're really connected to in Pete and Nimmo and Diaz, and it might even be Lindor next. I won't be stunned. What he's doing is he's stripping it down and building it the same way he built it in Milwaukee. Better defense, more athleticism, top-flight pitching, good bullpen. And the hope here is that it's accented with the checkbook. And by the way, that was last year with Soto, although that was a Cohen thing. I'm not giving Stearns credit there. I got to see a little bit more before I bury the guy. I just have to. Let me get Steve in Fairport on the Fan BT. What's happening, Stevie?
Hey, BT, if you give me a minute, I'd like to say a quick goodbye and then ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Tried to call last week, obviously very hard to get through. But, not to get serious here, but I'm a single dad, put my son through Boston College. Now I'm trying to put him through law school.
Wow.
Very hard job, a lot of stress, but every day for the last few years between 11 and 1 o'clock, I'd hop in my car here in upstate New York, and when the sun was out, which was damn rare, I'd open the sunroof, get into a parking lot, grab a soda, and I'd listen to you guys, and it got me through the day.
Wow.
I think that's as much thanks as one person can give to others. You guys really help. Thank you.
You are welcome. I've got great respect for BC. My sister went to Boston College. They would have no part of me. They did not want me, but they did want my sister.
God, Chestnut, there's no nicer place than Chestnut Hill.
Chestnut Hill's awesome.
Really,
and a single dad. I don't know the circumstances. You don't need to tell us, but God bless you, man. It sounds like you're running the race the right way. That a boy, Steve.
Well, you pay it forward, he's going to do that someday.
Amen.
Okay, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Social media, television, radio in general.
Yep.
I believe these phones are going to be the downfall of mankind. But besides that, let's take a look at Jackson Dart. Had you and I gone to a ball game 20 years ago, and let's say Dart was playing at the time, and he threw the interception he threw last week against Washington inside that was meant for Jalen Hyatt. You know, we'd be sipping a beer. We'd talk about, man, it just doesn't seem like him. We'd wonder about it. We'd let it go. To the good, a few days later, I can pick up my phone, go to a Baldy breakdown, who, by the way, I wish I had Baldy traveling around with me and he just broke down my life, a half an hour at a time. The guy's
He's
brilliant.
awesome. Baldy's good. He's a winner. Great.
He breaks down that pass, and he shows what an absolutely horrific route Hyatt ran on that thing. And all of it. Now I look differently at Jackson Dart. Really wasn't his fault. Put the ball where it needed to be. Had Hyatt planted his foot outside the way he was supposed to and made a more radical cut, it would have been so I knew that through social media. Here's the bad side of it. 20 years ago, if you and I were at that same ball game and you turned to me and you said, hey, if we get the number one pick, what would you think about, maybe we draft one of these quarterbacks and we trade
Dart.
We trade Jackson. That stays between me and you. Now, somebody comes up with one of those harebrained ideas, and I'm seeing it all over social media. And to me, I don't think there's any way in hell the Giants are thinking about that. But if I'm Jackson Dart, and I hear, and I'm not blaming McGonigal, he was talking about yes or no, but I hear it being discussed, you can't tell me that doesn't affect Jackson Dart negatively. So my question is, long-winded, occasionally I'll have to step back and I have to say, dude, go grab a beer, hit a golf ball, kiss a girl, stop looking at your phone for 20 minutes.
Amen.
And look at the world rationally. Did you ever, because of what you and Sal do, ever feel like you might be contributing to a, I guess an overemphasized view one way or another that might affect the ball player? Does that question make sense?
It makes total sense. What we present, it leads to a heightened intensity and speculation.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm going to unpack that for a second, but I want to say goodbye to you, Steve. You sound like my kind of guy. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
God bless you. If you're ever upstate, take you golfing. I'd love it.
Listen, I'd be in the woods all day finding my ball, so bring 10 Titleists. I'm going to need them, all right?
You got it.
Thank you, Steve. That's a good question. Listen, guys, social media is what it is. I do think that there's a point where you transition from caring to not caring what people say about you and what people write about you. You just can't live your life that way. I don't know why this came up within the last week or so, but I was very honest with you guys. Like when I started, when social media started, it would affect me. I'm like, man, here I am pouring my and listen, certainly certain people liked what I was doing, but there's a world full of haters out there, the other side of the coin. And usually it's the vocal minority that are the meanest, and the most mean-spirited. And also the most anonymous because they're wimps. But anyway, that would hurt me. And I don't know that it ever really impacted me on the air. But when you're like a young broadcaster, and I can only bring this to what he's saying about Jackson Dart, like a young quarterback, a young broadcaster, a young actor who gets their first chance in a movie,
and he's just crushed, and they pour their heart and soul into it, but they're crushed by the public. And, that hurts. When something's your life work and, it's not appreciated, is that the best feeling in the world? Of course it's not. That's why when you guys say the good things that you say, it does feel good. I'm not gonna front. I'd much rather be liked than not. But I do think what happens when you turn the corner and transition and are truly able to get separation from caring about what people, I don't want to say think about you, because I definitely want to be thought of as a good person. I'm talking about that's life. But the cesspool of social media, I don't care. I don't care. And I think somebody like Jackson Dart, who's, a million times higher profile than me, obviously, I think he's probably even more used to it. Yeah, I think his ability to separate from that stuff came a lot earlier in life, because that's all Jackson Dart knew. When I was in high school, no phones, none of that. College, no phones, none of that. Barely had websites. So, not that anybody's writing about Maris baseball, but if I go 0 for 4 with 3 punch-outs, I go back to my dorm room, I have a dip, play some Sega with my buddies, maybe have a beer that night if I don't have a game the next day, and I could just kind of wallow in a game that sucked without the whole world chiming in, But I think you build up an exterior and a callousness, and it really doesn't bother me. And I don't think it bothers him, because that's all he's known. So he didn't really have to transition, because it was always a part of his world. It's funny too, like when FAN put out that clip, the last clip of Sal saying goodbye, and obviously I was in it, but that was really his moment. Ours as a show, but his as a full-time employee here at the Fan, and that's why I really laid out, because I wanted him to have his moment. I don't really read many comments, but I dove into some of those. I'm not going to lie to you. I did. I told you that. Just to kind of see, like, hey, is this... Did you guys feel this show? Were we appreciated? Did we connect? Did we connect to the soul of the New York sports fan? And my instincts have always been pretty good. Just like my instincts 3 months ago, I knew Carton was coming back. I knew it. Instincts. And I did read the comments, some of them, and it really felt good. But there were some comments, and I just don't understand this type of... Now, thankfully, it doesn't bother me. But back in the day, it probably would have, and other people probably bothers. Like, how does somebody go through something so public? Like, it's not like we lost our job at a law firm. We lost our job on the radio. We found out on the radio. Written about everywhere. New York Post, Barrett Media, awful announcing. Everybody talk... Like, is that fun? No. It's not fun, but you deal with it like a man. That's how you deal with it. And some of the comments, not many, because we did feel the love, and man, do we appreciate that. But there were some people who wrote, with these stupid infantile GIFs, don't let the door hit you on the way out, unemployment line, a picture of a homeless person, and I'm not making light of that at all, a homeless person on the street, like implying, like, that's our next stop. Like, if that's your first thought to do that, you're just not a good person. You're not a mature person. You're not. And there's a good chance, a really good chance, that you wouldn't have the balls to do that to my face. You wouldn't. So you hide behind your little keyboard, and you peck away at the keyboard like a tough guy, and you're not. You're not. But no, that's you said that was the caller hung up. That was his long-winded way of asking the question. That's my long-winded way of explaining it. And this applies to anybody. Young kids, my kids are young. They're not on social media yet, but as athletes and all the stuff you go through, that's going to be hard to navigate. And I try to impress them. I'll be totally real with you right now. I just was, but even more. So when I got kicked out of the Little League game, and of course it was in the Post, and of course the morning show's talking about it, and people are talking about it, and I'm on vacation. And we get back from vacation, and I call my son in my office, and I go to the Post, and there's a picture of me, and it's a full article. Not proud of it. I said, you see this, bud? Yeah, I said, this is what happens when, maybe you do the wrong thing, or this is the world that you're growing up in. Especially since, not that daddy's a big shot at all, but, I have a public job. I have a public existence. So if you get in trouble with 9 of your buddies doing something stupid, guess who's probably going to be in the article centrally? Probably you, especially if you're a good athlete. You got to understand this. This is the new world. Honestly, I can't stand the new world. There's parts of it that I hate, that I loathe, that I just do not fundamentally agree with, that I never will. The good news is 90-something% of us are really good people. Flawed, but well-intentioned. So those infantile tweets, peck away, tweet away, don't care. 888-808-1019, BT on the Fan. Dovey, any reads here, bud? What do I got? Nothing? Let's get a quick break, come back, get more calls, back to the sports stuff, get you till 2, then it's Evan Tiki coming up after me.
It's a hot one with the Nets and Heat. 7:30 tomorrow night.
Claxton with a rebound, taking it coast to coast, and a slam with the left hand.
The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always streaming on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Odyssey apps.
I'm Denton Day from the BetMGM Network here to help you beat the books. Let's go to the hardwood. We're going to take the Grizzlies, getting 7.5 against the Timberwolves in the NBA. The Timberwolves are 10-16 against the spread, and that's a pretty big number without knowing whether or not Anthony Edwards is going to play. He's currently listed as questionable, so I'm going to take the Grizzlies to cover that big number at 7.5. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Ho, ho, ho. Quality is very important here at the North Pole. You see, I check my list once, twice, all done.
Well, Santa, quality's important to us at Nissan, too. We actually test every model thousands of times. There's the frame twist test, shaker test, corrosion test, drive load test, tug-of-war test, towing test, off-roading test, practical strength test, splash test, corrugated road test, chassis dynamics test, water intrusion test, extreme heat test, extreme cold test, rough road test, jump test, curb impact test. And physical parts tests.
Save on J.D. Power's #1 mainstream brand in new vehicle quality at the Nissan year-end event. Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2025 Murano or Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 1/5/26.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Got any gadgets? Get online protection. NordVPN has a ho-ho holiday deal just for you. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro feature helps you avoid malware, phishing, and annoying trackers. Just a few taps and you're safer online. Let your gadgets sparkle with online security. Go to NordVPN.com and get up to 77% off plus 3 extra months. NordVPN.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready for a smarter way to heat your home and save on energy costs? Go with Petro. Upgrade to a new energy-efficient heating system with the latest technology to help you save now and for years to come. With easy financing, $0 down, and low monthly payments, better comfort and savings are all within reach. And trust your local HVAC pros at Petro for expert installation and best-in-class service. Don't miss this deal for a new heating system. Go to petro.com now or call 1-888-PETRO-02 today. That's 1-888-PETRO-02.
So you need last-minute gifts. No judgment. Get an extra 25% off during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale and find great gifts under $20. Like something cozy, something thoughtful, something that says you planned this all along. Yep, you're just one quick trip away from checking off the last gifts on your list. Save now at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer ends December 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo from Volvo Cars Ramsey. Now find excellent offers with your first lease payment waived during the Holiday Safe Lease Sales event. Lease a new 2026 Volvo XC60 B5 Core all-wheel drive $454 per month for 36 months at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you. Call 833-853-2975 for lease details. MSRP $52,545. Then 1286218. Loaner vehicle 4,814 miles, $3,800 down payment, tax title registration fees extra, 0 security deposit, and 1226.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Back on the Fan. It is time for the St. John's Johnny's Report, brought to you by my friends at Sullivan Papain. I met a few of them last night at the game. It was awesome. Not my guy TJ. He was not there, but some people he works with, so it was really good to see him. New York strong, from the court to the community. Remember the name, Sullivan Papain. All right, so 10 games through. Johnny 7-3. They have won the games they were supposed to win. You know, I did a long St. John segment before, so I'll just kind of pick and choose a little bit here. Obviously, DePaul, he's supposed to win that game. They were big favorites. I don't think they covered. Not that St. John's cares about that, but they were like 17-point favorites, I think. They won by 13 either way. Darling was really good. Now, Darling's a player who I really like, and you watch him, and he was a Big Sky Player of the Year. And you come here and you just count another guy amongst 9 or 10 terrific players, because they've got that deep of a roster, that deep of a rotation. Last night was an important game, not only for him, for St. John's, because he has at least got to be a little bit of a threat to put some threes in. He did. He scored, 17? He's a defender. He's tenacious. So, he was going to play anyway when he subs for Ian Jackson at the point. But now you can maybe do some more things with him, which is great. And I still think that some of these new players, I think Sellers has been very good. Last night aside, he was kind of quiet. He's been one of their most consistent offensive players. Hopkins has gone a little quiet the last couple of games. I'm curious about that. Zuby had, 5 blocks last night, and before that he had 16 in 2 games. So the front court is strong. Sannon's starting to find the stroke. Obviously, Ian Jackson is an NBA talent. He's a stud. He's not there yet as an NBA player, but he's a stud. And now you get more tests here. You got Kentucky coming up, and then you got Harvard. I'll be doing the Harvard game with Mink. That's the 23rd in Carneseca. And then, boom, it's New Year's Eve, that Wednesday, an 8 p.m. tip against the Hoyas, and then we're right into the Providences and the Butlers and the meat of the season. So basketball season, obviously upon us. Maybe I'll try to get Rick on the show Friday. I'll try to do that. And again, this Johnny's Report brought to you by Sullivan Papain, New York strong, the court to the community. Remember the name, Sullivan Papain. Let's get back to you guys here. How about Jason in Somerset? What's up, Jay?
What's up, BT?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, listen, man. I kind of took the wind out of my sail before I said you didn't want to talk about the Jets. I only had 2 quick points about it.
Go ahead. Listen, of course, I got you. Go ahead.
All right. I listened to Evan and Tiki also, and there was 2 quick points. One was the take that oh my God, I just drew a blank.
Was it about? What was it about? I can't possibly guess. That's a pretty random.
Bart Scott.
Okay.
About having Bart Scott as the defensive coordinator.
I love Bart. I mean, I did TV with Bart for a couple of years. Bart's the man. He's a great dude, but he's never been a defensive coordinator. So I'd rather get him in the building and, linebackers coach, work your way up. I'm not saying he can't do the job, but you can't roll the dice with this next hire. Wilkes was a colossal fail by Glenn. You got to nail the next one.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to see Martinez, man. He had a great preseason. I think he had a good preseason. And I want to see him now. I want to see what he was about. He won that championship with the XFL or whatever that's called.
Yeah, I don't think he's a quarterback. I don't even know what it's called there. The secondary lead there, Jay. Thanks for the call. Good college player. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. I'd rather see Brady Cook. They just cut him. They just waived him from the practice squad, the Jets did. I think they signed him to back up Cook because Fields and Taylor were both hurt, obviously. I do want to see, I don't know what Garrett Wilson's status is. I want to see a game with Garrett Wilson and A.D. Mitchell and Mason Taylor and Breece Hall. Just want to see 1 or 2 games like that with Brady Cook. I want to see, he looked okay to me. It's early. I get it. It's the Jets. Probably not going to work out. Understood. But I'd like to see that. Let's go out to L.A. What's up, Sean? You're on the Fan. How you doing?
Hey, B2.
Hey.
I just wanted to say I'm sorry to hear about the show. I was a big fan of it. And I know it's like climbing Mount Everest for you. You finally, got your slot. And then they're kicking you down at base camp. But, keep pushing forward, man. And I'll listen to wherever you're going.
I fought to get here, and I will fight to get something bigger.
Yeah, definitely keep your head down and keep pushing forward.
I'm
Just
good,
don't
man.
Let it get to you.
I'm good.
Just want to talk about the Yankees for a sec. I tried to get through when the season ended and you were talking about accountability. And when's this front office going to be held accountable? It's like there's no direction and it's not moving forward either. Not to piggyback on what I was just saying about you, but it doesn't seem like this team's moving forward towards like an ultimate goal. I mean, I don't understand what's going on with the Bellinger thing, and the prospects that we've developed in the past 20 years with Cashman, like who are they? Judge? Yeah. That's all you've got in 20 years?
Well, Ben Rice is, I think, no, there's not many, but Ben Rice, I think, is a phenomenal young hitter. So he's one of them. It's a short list, dude.
Yeah, sure, he's still out on that one, but yeah, it's just like I just don't know how it's going to hold these guys accountable, and it's kind of frightening because now he's kind of like he's backed himself into a box. He's got all these bad contracts, and now Hal's saying, hey, you got to stay under $300 million, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the $300 million cap, but you've got to have a plan, and you got to spend that money right. And I don't see these guys doing it. I don't see Cashman doing it, and I don't see the front office guys, developing the right talent. And then the guys that we do have, you're holding on to them until they're worth nothing.
Yeah. No, it's a very strange plan from Cashman here. It feels like he's got a job for life, Sean. Thanks for the call. And that's honestly how it feels. You say, when is Hal going to hold him accountable? I don't know. Never? I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe never. I mean, we've been having some pretty loud, pretty raw conversations about Brian Cashman for a while. And nothing's really changed. Nothing's changed from, in terms of who's making the decisions. Listen, I do think that the Yankees were, they didn't get the memo about how the game was shifting. And they were still kind of holding on to that, let's go get the mashers and the big home run guys and Stanton and do this and pair them up with that. I think part of the reason why the Yankees are in a slower state of transition than we would want them to be in is because, number one, they were late to the party. I do think they realize they've got to do things different. I do think there's a bit of an awekening within Cashman and his baseball theories and thoughts, right? Because you saw that after the World Series a couple of years ago, he went out and he got a different defensive team. McMahon at third base. Obviously, Grisham's a good outfielder. Bellinger's a terrific outfielder. Judge, terrific outfielder. The defense got better. It's not perfect, obviously. Still a little sloppy on the bases. Jazz on the pop-up in Miami. Wells not knowing how many outs there were. That's on the players. Like, that's not on Boone. Like, you get your head out of your ass. Know how many outs there are. You're a professional baseball player. Even my, 10, 11-year-old kids I coach, they know. Hey, got two. Right, though, that's the voice. That's what I did, though. I flashed the sign. Oh, you got two out, two dead, two.
But you flashed the sign.
I'm a third base coach, so I flashed the sign.
I would also blame the coaches there.
What do you mean?
For players not knowing how many outs there are.
Well, no. Well, first of all, I'm on a Little League field. They are at Yankee Stadium with a scoreboard the size of a building. Look up and see how many outs there are.
There's no downside to the third base coach, to Rojas or the first base coach, just putting those same two fingers up, reminding them there's 2 outs.
I know. By the way, I agree, but you're also implying that they don't do that. Now, I only do that when the kid's at second. Like when the kid's at first, the first base coach does it. When the kid's at third, I tell him. But when the kid's on second, that's when I throw out the coach voice. No, but I would imagine that the Yankees coaches say, hey, you got one out here, ball hit on the right, some freeze, whatever, for a line drive, freeze. You tag in. This guy's got a rag arm in left. This guy's got a rocket. I mean, you know that because of the scouting. But no, of course you tell them. But if the player doesn't listen, it's not the coach's fault. Coach going to get some heat, but the player's got to know. Either way. The Yankees, to me, have gotten better defensively and better on the bases. And I think that Cashman now knows that he's got to do things a little differently, actually a lot differently. But you can't fully implement that new baseball mindset when you've got some contracts that are still holding you back. And not so much the money, more about the lack of being able to free up the DH spot like with Stanton. And again, we love him, but it's over. That's it. I'm done. I mean, I think he's got the no trade. If he would ever waive it, go. And I love Big G. Respect. Massive respect to that guy. But he's holding them back from being a better, well-rounded team. Care what anybody says. And I think once he's gone and you don't have that impediment, that obstacle at the DH spot, well, now you could do things a little bit differently. And then I think you'll see the new vision, take root a little bit more. But they're still kind of in between. Is what I'm saying. 888-808-1019. BT on the Fan here. Yep, time for an Odyssey Sports Minute now. And it is brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Make the right choice. Don't drive impaired.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Every year it seems like there's a great team that gets gutted by injuries. This year, unfortunately, it might be the Green Bay Packers. They lost outstanding tight end Tucker Kraft earlier in the season, and now superstar pass rusher Micah Parsons is done as well. And that's just a start. Key guys are dealing with injuries, and now a path to the Super Bowl, which was a realistic goal, is going to be much, much tougher for the Packers. I'm Andrew Perloff.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Move and be moved in the Mazda CX-5, the smart choice for those who expect more. With standard iActive all-wheel drive and advanced safety, there's more to a Mazda. Celebrate the More to Move You winter sales event and lease the Mazda CX-5 for $229 a month. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com.
FanDuel is the #1 sports book for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet does win. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/Boomer to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe, secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Help the gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
Embrace the spirit of the season during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration and make dreams come true at Mercedes-Benz of Edison. With over 500 vehicles to choose from, you'll find the perfect holiday gift for the one you love. Celebrate the season in true luxury at Mercedes-Benz of Edison.
The all-new Giants mobile app presented by DraftKings is your home for highlights, breaking news, exclusive features, and inside access to the New York Giants. Watch Big Blue Kickoff live every weekday afternoon at 12:30, plus every press conference, locker room interview, and podcast. If you're coming to the game, check out the Pocket Game Day Hub in the Giants app for live camera angles, interactive games, mobile food ordering, and more. Download the Giants official mobile app presented by DraftKings for free at the App Store and Google Play.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need dummy rinse tonight. And I need it more. My kick was the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. The sweat and dead short smells like a dog park. Downy rinse it tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is here for the holidays. Enjoy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. It's got everything you need to keep your holiday season running. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead directly on the Dunkin' app. After all, the holidays run on Dunkin'. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
All right, let's keep hammering the phones here. Wrap it up. BT with the other Fan. 888-808-1019. You got Evan and Tiki and Sean coming up next here. And just a heads up, I am off tomorrow. All right, so this is the last day that Dove and I will work together full time. I already said my piece. It's a good man right there. It's a man of honor. That's a man of intelligence, and I'm going to miss you, Dove. So happy Hanukkah tonight, all that good stuff. Have a great time, man. Really, you're a station legend. So you deserve, because you're going out as well. Yeah. December 31st. You'll have time to say goodbye in your own way, but I want everybody to know how much I respect you and the stuff that you do, even with some of the wrong information and maybe some of the wrong songs. Got to get that last shot. Nah, just kidding. All right, so Dove is the best. We've got the BT and Sal live show coming up. You guys want to get tickets? They have gone fast. I don't know how many more will be left, but there's definitely some. All right, yesterday was a very good start. Go check out my social media stuff. There's a live link to Ticketmaster. It's going to be me and Sal. Aaron Boone's going to be out there. Food, booze, awesome venue, Red Bank. It's great. Jerry's been to this venue a lot. I think Jerry might even come because he's not too far from there. But Jerry's been there a lot. He said it's just awesome. So we cannot wait. We're going to let it rip. And hopefully you guys will join us and have a lot of fun, do a little celebrating. Let me get Angel in the Bronx. Or is it Angel? Angel, what's happening, bud?
BT, good afternoon, my brother.
You.
First off, I'm glad, I have the opportunity to talk to you before you leave on Friday. As you already know, one door closes, another one opens. I have no doubt that you'll be welcomed with open arms wherever you go. And as I told you in the past, we've talked once, I'm a big fan of your vernacular. I love the way you talk about sports, and it will truly be missed. It will be missed on the fan for sure. I can't wait to listen to wherever you got to go or wherever you're going to land.
Thank you, brother.
With that being said,
Thanks,
let's talk about these Metsies, huh?
Let's go.
First off, the Polanco doesn't make sense to me, that move. He's not a good defender. He's been a negative defender. If you look at his baseball savant page in the fielding section, he's a negative fielder. No matter if you put him in second base, shortstop, he's never played first base. So DH, he's not even sniffing Pete's numbers. And now with this recent move, Weaver, are you kidding me, dude? Like, let's be for real there. Like, he sucked so bad this past season. He was not clutch when he needed to be and was unpitchable during the postseason. Now, I'm not saying that he can't be good, but he showed he can. But as a diehard Mets fan that just lost 3 of their biggest stars for reasons X, Y, and Z, this doesn't convince me that the Mets are going to make the playoffs this season. I don't know, man.
Playoff team now. This is actually one of the worst teams in baseball roster-wise. I really believe that. I know they're going to round out the staff, so I don't think that they start the season where they are right now. I mean, that is definitely the bad news. The bad news is the Mets are, they could go from 89 to 83 to sub 81. Maybe get our buddy back on the phone, talk about hitting 500, playing 500 ball. Confused us all before, get him up. But they're going in the wrong direction. A couple of steps back, I think, eventually to take a massive step forward. And while that could, result in some arduous, trying times, just remember, you always have the memories. You always got the memories of the great Keith and Gary. Come on! Come on! A little Doc. A little Ray Knight. Hojo platoon at third base. A little Rafael Santana playing third base for you. A little Wally Tuffle over at second. A little Mookie and Lenny. You got the memories. You never know. So if the winter continues to treat you in a dark manner, watch, they'll sign Bellinger today. Just remember, you can always go to the old VHS tape and you can dust it off and you can throw this in and you can make the time move a little quicker for you, just in case things don't get better for the Mets there. All right, so thank you very much. All right, let's get back to you guys here. I love the song. You know what? I like the song. Steve's in Bayside. What up, Stevie?
What's up? Let me tell you a quick story about your point about social media. Former Mayor Ed Koch used to have a radio show.
Oh, yeah.
He used to tell the story.
Oh, yeah. By the way, one of the absolute best mayors ever. I mean, what he did, right? The sanitation strike. Koch was a great mayor.
Yes, I totally agree. He used to tell this story about the first time he met Ronald Reagan, President Reagan. It was when the tall ships were coming in down the South Street Seaport, and they were both going to be on a podium and, greeting the crowd and stuff like that. And so they go up there, and there's thousands of people cheering. And Reagan says to him, look at that guy in the orange shirt over there, because there's one guy in the crowd that's flipping him off and cursing him out and stuff like that. And Koch busts out laughing because he was the same way. Here's thousands of people cheering, and all he could focus on was that one guy.
Yeah.
So my point about social media, don't forget the thousands of people that are cheering for you, okay?
Yeah, and so I'd say sometimes it's hard to or it's easy to forget that, but no, I mean, it's just, I just worry about the young kids. That's really, I mean, once the adult mind, in all sincerity, Steve, once the adult mind is shaped, I think you're equipped to deal with this. Not that it can't hurt you, not that it can't hurt your feelings or make you say it could, because we're humans, but it's the undeveloped young minds getting exposed to the harsh hate that a lot of people spew. That's what worries me, not the adults as much.
Yeah, I get it.
You know?
Well, anyway, I called about Bellinger.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we shouldn't forget about Bellinger, that he was salary dumped on the Yankees in 2024 from the Chicago Cubs. I don't, when you're saying the Yankees can't miss out, I don't want to go past 4 or 5 years with Bellinger.
You're going to have to.
I mean, if the market, I know that means that if he's going to get sick somewhere else, that I'm going to lose the player, and I would just deal with that. And, it might be through the trade market.
Mm-hmm.
It might be, letting the kids play.
Yep.
But I'm not going. I don't want to have. You take all these calls about the bad contracts that the Yankees have on the books, and I think you're setting yourself up for the next one.
Well, I got to tell you, Steve, it's a pretty interesting way of looking at it. Thank you for that call. I think that's the first Mayor Koch reference on the show. Though, if you remember Mayor, I remember seeing video. Well, no, it was a documentary. I think it was called Koch.
How am I doing?
Yeah. And, I mean, this guy had balls of steel, man. He was, I don't know the exact year, and I don't even remember it in real time, obviously, but 79 maybe, 70, something like that. The sanitation strike, and, the city was on fire. The city was a mess, and Times Square was just a cesspool of you-know-what. And this guy takes his megaphone, and I think he was walking over the Brooklyn Bridge, and he was basically imploring people to follow him and, showing real leadership. I mean, Koch was good, man. He got a lot done. But the thing about Bellinger, that's an interesting point that I think could apply to an extent. Because you're right, we have been yelling and screaming and taking a million calls about Stanton and this and the bad contract and that. Well, the difference is, 6 years, he's not really worth 6, but that's the price of business. Ideally, you get 4 or 5, not going to happen if you want him. So if you want him, he's going to have to be 6. But he's going to age more gracefully. I mean, and even when he's no longer an above-average outfielder, you can put him at first base. And he's probably going to even be more nimble than Rizzo was at the end. Because Rizzo in his prime was never the athlete that Bellinger is now, even at the age of 30. So not the same exact thing, but I get it. I know what you mean by that. Zach is in Brooklyn, last one of the day in all probability. What's up, Zach?
Hey, BT, big fan of yours. Just wanted to get on one quick Yankee, one quick Jet point, diehard Yankee and Jet guy like you.
Let's go.
First, I wanted to start with a plan. I think you trade Jazz if you're not going to extend him. One guy I'd love to replace him would be Bo Bichette, bring a little bit more balance. Guy who could obviously provide some contact and a little bit of power. Let Belly walk to the Mets, and then maybe trade for a pitcher. And then I'd keep him at second, and then hopefully shortstop, you got Cabby and Volpe this year, and maybe Lombard comes up next year. What are your thoughts on that plan?
I actually said that. That was part of the plan. I don't think that they'll do it, but say if they miss out on Bellinger, well, and then what you could do is let's say that Volpe starts to hit enough where you're all right, we want to keep him around here, but we don't love him at shortstop, and Lombard really is ready. Well, yes, you could bring Lombard up, and then now McMahon's contract is up at that point. Now he's gone. Now Bichette goes over to third, and in theory, you got Volpe going to second. That's a lot of things that would have to happen. I think it's a very sensible baseball plan myself. Yeah, I said it the other day.
No, I agree. I agree. And then with the Jets, what are your thoughts? I like Mendoza. I just think this defense stinks. I want to keep those picks. I really like Dante Moore at 5, or maybe even a Darian Mensah with that Colts pick or high-end second. I think you need those picks to rebuild. Look at all the really good teams in the NFL. They built through the draft. So,
I really like Mendoza, Zach, and thank you for the call. Oh, the official end of the show. Am I giving up all those picks for Mendoza? That's a lot. Either way, we've got one more day to hit it. That day is not tomorrow, at least in terms of, this time slot, all that stuff. That day is not tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow. All right. Moose will be filling in. I am back on Friday. And we're just going to let it rip, man. We'll see what happens Friday. We're going to have a good time. Get loose. End on a high note. I've enjoyed it. You guys know that. So good job by the Knicks.